Douluo I am an ice shooter invincible in ice power. Chapter 76-100. Chapter 76. Yu Shaogang was humiliated. Douluo Bo did not go with Tang San and others, but quietly followed their team. He wanted to protect Tang San secretly, and at the same time look for opportunities to attack Xiao Han. However, with the two deans of Tianshui College escorting him, and the two colleges of Kamikaze and Chuo following him, he couldn't act rashly. Douluo Bo was fighting with ghosts and was gradually losing ground. When Yu Guan was about to attack Tang San, Sword Douluo and Ning Fengji suddenly appeared. Seeing that the situation was over, the two elders had no choice but to leave with a group of men in black. Everyone in Shrek was shocked by this disaster. Tang San said, "Uncle Ning, thank you and Grandpa Jian for your help. Xiao San, our three previous sects are connected by the same spirit. Now that you are in trouble, how can we stand by and watch? If you are polite, there is no need to say more. Wuhun Palace has already taken action against you. I advise you not to go to Wuhun City to participate in the finals. If you don't mind, I'll send someone to escort you back to Qibao Glazed Sect. Uncle Ji Yu will ensure your safety." Tang San shook his head. "Uncle Ning, I appreciate your kindness, but I will definitely participate in the finals." Shrek Academy was defeated by Blazing Academy and Tianshui Academy in the qualifiers and promotion matches of the Tiando Division, and met twice. Even at Kamikaze Academy, they gave up on their own initiative. Tang San and Shrek were all holding their breath in their hearts, wanting to take revenge in the finals. Therefore, we will not give up on the finals easily. Ning Fengji sighed. "Shaosan, since you have decided, go ahead. Uncle Jian and I will try our best to ensure your safety." After Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo left, Douluo Bo said to Tang San, "Xiao San, I think you have underestimated Bibi Dong's determination. This time the two elders Zhu and Gui are going to die in person, which is enough to show how much she values you. When we get to Wuhun City, if she really wants to do something to you, even if there is Sect Master Ning and Sword Douluo are here, so I'm afraid it's hard to protect you." Tang San smiled disapprovingly. "Old monster, I know what you are worried about. But, what if my father is here too? What? Haoshan Douluo is here too?" Douluo Bo looked around with a surprised look on his face. Tang San continued. "Old monster, do you still remember the first time I used the clear sky hammer? Without my father's secret help, I would not have been able to take back the clear sky hammer." "You mean, Haoshan Douluo has been watching you secretly?" "Well, I guess so." Douluo Bo nodded happily. "Very good. No wonder you are so confident. Even with Haoshan Douluo here, they can't touch you." As Douluo Bo spoke, he looked towards the Tianshui College team behind him. "If I guess correctly, Xiao Han is also one of the targets that Wuhun Palace wants to intercept. However, the strange thing is that Zhuhuaguan does not seem to have attacked him. Is it possible that they have surrendered to Wuhun Palace or reached some kind of agreement with Wuhun Palace?" Douluo Bo frowned, thoughtfully. "As far as I know, those three elemental academies have nothing to do with Wuhun Palace. It is unlikely that they will submit to Wuhun Palace. It is possible to reach some kind of agreement secretly. It would be great if that were the case." An intriguing smile appeared on Tang San's face. The outstanding performance of the young soul masters from the three elemental academies of Tianshui, Shenfeng and Blazing Fire has attracted the attention of Emperor Shui Yi, especially the strongest Xiao Han. If they do not seek refuge in the Spirit Hall, after the Soul Master competition is over and they graduate from the academy, they will be promised titles and fiefs by Emperor Shui Yi, and may even be reused. However, if they really secretly communicated with Wuhun Palace, Emperor Shui would never use them again. In this way, Tang San's opportunity came. Tang San has a plan to form the Tang clan and has already taken care of the Force clan. If he can receive support from the Empire, his plan will go more smoothly. On the other side, Tiando City. Holding the papal decree in hand, Yu Shaogang came to the papal palace unimpeded and met Bibi Dong. Seeing Yu Shaogang, who thought about it day and night again, Bibi Dong felt excited but pretended to be calm. Yu Shaogang spoke first. Bibi Dong, I haven't seen you for so many years, but you are still as young and beautiful as you were then, but I am already old. Are you okay? As a high-ranking pope, what's wrong with me? Yu Shaogang, please be careful. I'm no longer the silly Bibi Dong back then. Yes, Pope, I was rude just now, please forgive me. Seeing Yu Shaogang being so humble in front of her, Bibi Dong felt secretly happy and snorted coldly. Why did you come to me? Pope, I would like to ask you how you overcame the difficulty of having twin martial souls back then. Yu Shaogang, as far as I know, you haven't broken through level 30 yet. You are such a waste, so it seems inappropriate to ask this kind of question, right? Bibi Dong's harsh words pierced into Yu Shaogang's heart like a sharp blade, and also into her own heart. Her heart ached, but she also felt a sense of revenge. Yu Shaogang was humiliated by Bibi Dong, but he still suppressed the anger in his heart and forced a smile. Pope, to be honest, I have accepted a talented disciple, who is also a twin martial soul. That's why I came to ask you for advice. Really? The person you are talking about should be Tang San, right? It turns out you already know. Bibi Dong suddenly stood up and said with a serious face. Yu Shaogang, do you really not know what the twin martial spirits of blue silver grass and clear sky hammer mean? That child does have some connection with the Haoshan sect, but he is not from the Haoshan sect. Haha tilde you are still conservative, let me tell you. It means that he is the evil offspring of Tang Hao and the 100,000-year-old soul beast Blue Silver Emperor, a monster born from the combination of a soul master and a soul beast. Can he live in the human world? Quote. Yu Shaogang suddenly felt bad. What do you want to do? Bibi Dong sneered. I have sent people to intercept and kill that scoundrel. Maybe he is already dead. Bibi Dong, how dare you attack Tang San? If he has any shortcomings, I will definitely break up with you and become the enemy of you in Wuhun Palace. Yu Shaogang roared helplessly in front of his former lover to vent the anger in his heart. Bibi Dong was also angry. Yu Shaogang, you and I have not seen each other for many years, and you actually want to break up with me because of a scoundrel. Do you really want to be so heartless? Bibi Dong, take a good look at yourself. Over the years, Wuhun Palace has indeed become stronger and stronger under your leadership, but it has also done many unreasonable things. Sometimes I even doubt, are you still Bibi Dong? Yu Shaogang, I owe everything to you for what I am today. You abandoned me so cruelly back then, and then left me with your cousin regardless of ethics and morals. Together, they are truly a couple. I just want to torture you and let you witness your loved ones leaving you one by one. First Tang San, and then Lu Erlong, they all had to die. Crazy. Bibi Dong, you are really crazy. Chapter 77 Licking Dog Bibi Dong. Just as Yu Shaogang was about to leave, a guard suddenly came to the main hall in a hurry. Get out. Didn't I say that no one is allowed to enter the hall without my permission? His Majesty the Pope, 2 elders have returned and are waiting outside the palace. They say they have something important to report. Let them come in. Yu Shaogang was not in a hurry to leave and wanted to hear what news they brought back. Bibi Dong looked at Yu Shaogang, with a hint of pride in her eyes. She also wanted Yu Shaogang to hear the bad news about Tang San. Yu Guan and Gui Mei walked into the hall with heavy steps, looking a little panicked. Bibi Dong suddenly felt bad. 2 elders, what do you want to report? Please forgive us, Your Majesty the Pope, for failing to complete our mission. After hearing this, the stone hanging in Yu Shaogang's heart suddenly fell. He looked at Bibi Dong, his eyes filled with anger. Bibi Dong, the friendship between you and me ends here. If you dare to touch Tang San in the future, I will definitely use all my strength to exact revenge on you in the Spirit Hall. How dare you yell in front of me, you trash talker. Just watch carefully, I will definitely kill him. Get out of here. Yu Shaogang glared at Bibi Dong angrily, and then left the Pope's palace without looking back. Looking at Yu Shaogang's gradually blurred back, Bibi Dong felt heartbroken. Seeing this situation, the 2 elders lowered their heads and did not dare to speak. Bibi Dong calmed down and asked, "What's going on?" The ghost replied, "Your Majesty the Pope, we almost succeeded, but at the critical moment, Douluo Bo, Kendao Chenxin and Ning Fengji appeared one after another, so we. HMPH. Douluo Bo actually dares to wade into this muddy water, and Ning Fengji is getting more and more courageous. I will take note of this account between Douluo Bo and the Qibao Glazed sect, and I will deal with them sooner or later. Bibi Dong suddenly thought of Xiao Han. Where was the Water Academy that day? They didn't have the backing of a powerful person at the title Douluo level. Yu Guan bravely replied. Your Majesty the Pope, Xiao Han and I have some fate. I want to draw him into our Wuhun Palace. Please give me some more time. Bibi Dong glanced at Yu Guan. If he can join the Wuhun Palace, I can spare his life. Then I will give you some more time. Thank you, His Majesty the Pope, for making it happen. Okay. This mission failed, and the responsibility is not entirely yours. Go down first. Yes. Yu Guan and Gui Mei both felt lucky. Unexpectedly, Bibi Dong did not blame them after the mission failed. After the two elders left the Pope's palace, Bibi Dong came to the place where Yu Xiaobing was standing before and sucked the air around her hard, trying to feel Yu Xiaobing's remaining breath. Xiao Gang, we haven't seen each other for so many years, why are you still so ruthless to me? I really don't want to hurt you. When will you understand me and read my heart? Tilde 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 tilde. Shui Qinghe led the team of Soul Masters, getting closer and closer to Wuhun City. At the beginning of the Soul Master competition, Xiaowu's soul power had already reached level 39. On the way to Wuhun City, she had been practicing hard, hoping to break through level 40 before the finals. On this day, Xiaowu successfully broke through the bottleneck of level 40. She couldn't wait to tell Tang San the good news. Tang San was very excited. Great, you have finally broken through level 40. After you obtain the Spirit Ring, our Shrek team will have another fighting spirit sect, and our strength will be further enhanced. Brother, I can get the 4th soul ring without hunting soul beasts. I can get it through self-condensation. There are too many people in the group. It is not suitable to obtain the soul ring directly here. You need to go out. I have been thinking about a question recently. Should I confess your true identity to everyone? Xiaowu shook her head. Brother, it's better not to give up now. We are about to enter the finals, and I'm afraid it will affect everyone's emotions. However, you can tell Erlong's mother first. Okay then. Tell her when you and teacher Erlong are out. Afterwards, Xiaowu and Lu Erlong went out together and met the team in Wuhun City. With the 4th soul ring, Xiaowu's soul power has been raised by 1 level, reaching level 41. The 4th soul skill is the invincible golden body. This soul skill gives her absolute defense below the god level for 3 seconds, and her strength is increased by 1 level. Times. Tilde 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 tilde. Wuhun City is not big, only 1/6 of Tiando City, but it has gathered a large number of soul masters. Xiao Han and his party stayed in a hotel on the west side of Wuhun City. There is a 3-day break before the official start of the finals. During these 3 days, Xiao Han and Shui Binger adjusted their condition to the best. The long-awaited day has finally arrived. Early in the morning, all participating colleges arrived at the competition venue under the leadership of dedicated personnel from Wuhun Palace. This competition venue is located in the center of Wuhun City. The diameter of the huge arena reaches 100 meters. It is entirely made of granite and reinforced with huge soul guides. Each college has a separate rest area, built around the competition venue, where you can watch the games of other colleges. One side of the playing field there are VIP judges' seats, where representatives of the 2 empires and some elders of the Spirit Hall are watching the game. There are also audience seats, but there are not many seats, which can only accommodate a few thousand people. Only soul masters can enter the venue to watch the game. The Pope's palace is right in front of the stadium. This place is less than a kilometer away from the Pope Mountain. The Spirit Hall has posted a notice that the final 3 will be held in the square in front of the Pope's palace. At that time, Pope Bibi Dong will appear in person and present awards to the final champion. There are only 5 rounds in the finals, and there will be a day of rest and adjustment after each round. There are a total of 33 participating teams. In addition to the 3 seeded teams that are recommended, there are 15 teams from the 2 empires of Tiando and Xinglo. The first round of the game will be held today. 3 seeded teams will have a bye, and the remaining 30 teams will compete for 15 qualifying places. In this round of competition, Tianshui College's opponent may be any team except the 3 seeded teams. The cruel elimination system, where one match decides the winner, will surely make all teams fight harder. Soon, Lin Zhuro brought back the draw results. Tianshui College's opponent today is Botanical College. In the qualifying round, Botanical College gave up the match when it met Tianshui College. This was their first encounter in this Soul Master competition. The process of the finals was relatively simple and more direct. After a cardinal briefly introduced the participating teams and matches in the first round, the match started directly. The main players of Botanical College were all girls, and their strength was not strong, so Lin Zhuro did not send Xiao Han to play. Under the leadership of Shui Binger, Tianshui College easily defeated Botanical College. Tianshui College won the first place in the qualifying round of the Tiando division. According to the bye rules of the finals, after winning the first round, they had a bye in the second round and directly entered the third round. Chapter 78 Strong Opponents, Seeded Teams. The first round of the competition is over, and there is no suspense. The top 5 colleges in the Tiando division all won their first victory. Tianshui College had a bye in the second round. In the second round, the 3 seeded teams defeated their opponents. The overall strength of the Wuhun Hall College team is good. There are 3 War Soul Kings above level 50 in the team, and the other 4 main players are all War Soul Sect above level 45. Therefore, their performance has attracted much attention. However, in this round of competition, the Wuhun Hall team did not send Yan, Xieyu and Hu Liena, and the 3 of them did not even show up on the field. With only the other 4 main players and 3 substitutes, they easily won the game. Soon, the third round of the competition came. According to the rules of the competition, the second-ranked teams in the Tiando and Xinglo Empire divisions had a bye, and the other 8 teams played in the elimination round. The winners will enter the fourth round as the top 6. The competition reached the third round, and there were almost no weak teams left. So, no matter who Tianshui Academy's opponent is today, Xiao Han will play. Not long after, Lin Zhuro came back with the draw results. Children, your opponent today is a seeded team, Xinglo Royal Academy. Hearing this, Xiao Han was a little surprised. Why is it Xinglo Royal Academy? Except for the 2 teams that have a bye, there are only 7 teams left, and it's possible to draw anyone. What, you don't want to meet them? No, I'm just asking casually. Xiao Han knew that according to the original plot, Shrek Academy would meet Xinglo Royal Academy. It may be because of his appearance that the development of things was affected. Lin Zhuro continued. In the 3 previous Soul Master competitions, Xinglo Royal Academy won the championship once. Although it is a royal team, the players are all strong, unlike the noble children of Tiando Royal Academy. As a seed team, the overall strength of Xinglo Royal Team is the strongest in the Xinglo Empire division. In the last game, they were reserved and did not send out all the main players. As far as I know, there are 6 Soul Masters in their team, and the Captain Davis and the Vice Captain Zhu Zuyun are close to the strength of Soul King. So, you must take this game seriously and don't be careless. Understood. In this game, Shuiwu will rest, Xiao Han and the other 6 main players will play. Afterwards, Lin Zhuro also made tactical arrangements. Soon, the referee announced today's match and the order of appearance. Tianshui Academy vs. Xinglo Royal Academy ranked 1st. Shrek Academy and a school of Xinglo Empire ranked 2nd. Chuo Academy and Lighting Academy ranked 3rd. The Spirit Hall Academy and the Tiando Royal Academy were ranked 4th. The duel between the 2 seeded teams is exciting. Today, the 3 Soul Kings of the Spirit Hall team have appeared on the field, and they should all play. The game has not officially started yet, and the participating academies are waiting in their respective areas. Each of the winning teams today may become the opponent of their team in the top 6, so they will watch the next duel carefully and try to understand as much as possible about the opponent's strength and flaws. After learning that the opponent of Xingluo Royal Academy is Tianshui Academy, Daimubai was a little disappointed and full of reluctance. He urgently wanted to defeat his brother Davis to prove that he was no worse than Davis and regain his position in the Xingluo royal family. He knew that in the face of the powerful Tianshui in front of the academy, Star Luo Royal Academy's chances of winning were not great. If Star Luo Royal Academy loses, then they will have no chance to meet. Damn it! Why isn't it us at Shrek Academy who encountered them? Boss Dai, what's wrong with you? Another important purpose of my participation in the Soul Master competition is to defeat the Star Luo Royal Academy and defeat Davis and Zhu Zuyun together with Zuqing. It seems that there is no chance. Boss Dai, what's going on? The matter has come to an end, it doesn't hurt to tell you. Next, Daimubai told Tang San and others the reason why he and Zhu Zuqing came to the Tiando Empire. Tang San comforted. I really didn't expect that your two families would have such a cruel competition code. Since you can't change this fact, just accept your fate. As long as you defeat stronger opponents and win the Soul Master competition, you can prove it. The strength of you and Zuqing. Third brother is right. Just in time, we can first see how Tianshui Academy responds to the martial soul fusion skills of White Tiger and Nether Civet. Well, we also have to prepare for the fact that our opponent is Tianshui Academy and see how much trouble the Netherworld White Tiger can cause them. Daimubai nodded slightly, feeling better now. Following the referee's announcement, the participating students from Tianshui Academy and Xingluo Royal Academy slowly entered the competition venue. The eyes of the Wuhundian Academy team were instantly attracted to the arena. Look, the male player from Tianshui Academy finally appeared. I heard that guy is the strongest student in the Tiando division, and their team's overall strength is also very strong. They have never lost in this Soul Master competition. Listening to the discussions of his teammates, Yan smiled disdainfully. How strong can it be? That's because they haven't met our Wuhundian Academy team yet. That's right, the final champion must belong to our Wuhundian Academy. Hu Liena looked at the arena intently and said. Brother, Yan, have you two forgotten Elder Ghost's instructions so quickly? If we don't win the championship, we will be thrown into Death Canyon. Team Tianshui is the biggest obstacle to our team from Wuhundian to win the championship. 3. The overall strength of the Soul King and the 5 soul sects is not inferior to ours at all, so don't underestimate the enemy. At the mention of Death Canyon, both Yan and Xiaoyu shivered with fear. Nana, are your worries a little unnecessary? With your and the captain's martial soul fusion skills, we will definitely win. Luosuo, let's watch the game. Yan said nothing more and turned his attention to the playing field. Xiao Han's appearance caused a sensation. The Soul Masters who were watching the battle started talking one after another. Isn't Tianshui College a women's college? Why did a male student sneak in? Is there something special about him? In the first round, he did not play. This time, he was able to play against the stronger Xingluo Royal Academy. He should have some strength. In this Soul Master competition, Tianshui team and Star Luo Royal team are both very strong, but there can only be one winner. The outcome of this competition is hard to say yet. The game is about to begin, so watch carefully. On the 100-meter diameter arena, the players from both sides set up their respective formations. Chapter 79 I'll beat you all the same. On the Tianshui College side, Xiaohan and Shui Binger stood at the front of the team, and the other 5 people lined up behind them. On the Xingluo Royal Academy side, Davis and Zhu Zuyun stood at the front of the team, and the other 5 people stood in a row behind them. Before going on stage, Xiaohan told Shui Binger and others to try their best to prevent Davis and Zhu Zuyun from joining forces to perform martial arts fusion skills. If they succeed, leave it to him to deal with it. On the stage, Davis looks very similar to Daimubai, and is a bit taller than Daimubai. He looked at Xiaohan with arrogance in his eyes. A male student actually sneaked into Tianshui Academy. Did you go in through the back door? Xiaohan smiled disdainfully and replied. You are in your 20s, using the royal family's best training resources, but you haven't even reached level 50. Are you a waste? How dare you insult me? Get it clear, this is Wuhun City, not your Star Luo Empire. Your status as Star Luo Prince is nothing here. Xiao Han's words left Davis speechless. He glared at Xiao Han angrily, wanting to tear him into pieces. Zhu Zuyun touched Davis lightly. Forget it, don't argue with him. I'll teach them a lesson later. Although Zhu Zuyun spoke softly, his eyes were full of provocation. Xiao Han would not tolerate it just because she was a woman, so he replied again. It doesn't matter who teaches whom. To tell you the truth, Daimubai has already been beaten by me. I think Zhu Zuqing is pitiful, so I let her go. You two are not much stronger than them, so don't be so boastful. I'll beat you up later. You. Zhu Zuyun's face flushed with anger and he said no more. Before the match between the two sides officially started, a strong smell of gunpowder filled the field. When Xiao Han talked with them, he did not deliberately suppress his voice. The hearing of soul masters was much stronger than that of ordinary people, and Daimubai and Tang San all heard the conversation between them. Xiao Han's words mocking Davis and Zhu Zuyun were like a cold sharp blade piercing Daimubai's heart. Daimubai was furious and clenched his fists. Damn it, you're hurting me again. If you don't avenge me, I will never be a human being. At this moment, the referee's voice came through the loudspeaker. This match will pit the Tianshui Academy team against the Xinglo Royal Academy team. The loser will be eliminated directly, and the winner will enter the top 6. You can release your martial soul. The game will officially start in 1 minute. Davis and Xiao Han looked at each other, their eyes suddenly becoming domineering. Brothers, activate your martial spirit. Following Davis's roar, 7 members of the Star Luo Royal Academy released their respective martial spirits and soul rings at the same time. Sure enough, as Lin Juro said, there were 6 4th ring soul masters in their team and only 1 3-ring soul master. Davis and Zhu Zuyun stood at the front. They had the strongest aura and the strongest soul power fluctuations. They were indeed close to the Soul King in strength. There is no doubt that this is the strongest opponent the Tianshui Academy team has encountered so far in this Soul Master competition. But they didn't panic at all. Xiao Han and Shui Binger also released their respective martial arts spirits, which brought even more shocking effects. What burned on Shui Binger's body were 5 soul rings of yellow, purple, purple and black. What is even more shocking is the soul ring on Xiao Han. The moment the 5 soul rings of yellow, purple, violet, black and black appeared, there was a burst of exclamation from the audience. The male student from the Tianshui Academy team turned out to be a fighting spirit king. The 2nd soul ring has reached the 1,000-year level, and the 4th soul ring has reached the 10,000-year level. Isn't this too explosive for a fighting spirit king to have 2 10,000-year soul rings at the same time? No wonder you can enter Tianshui Women's College. It's really extraordinary. Seeing that scene on the field, the members of the Wahundian Academy team were all stunned. They had a bye in the first round and did not appear on the field. Tianshui College received a bye in the second round. Therefore, this is the first time they have seen the Tianshui Academy team release martial arts and soul rings in the ring. Yan, Xieyu and Hu Liena learned about the strength of Tianshui Academy from Gui Mei. However, they still felt unbelievable when they saw Xiao Han's soul ring configuration with their own eyes. Yan grinned. That kid actually has 2 10,000-year soul rings. But I still firmly believe that the final championship belongs to our Wahundian Academy. Hu Liena's eyes became even sharper. You're right, no matter what, we will definitely win the championship. The other 5 girls in the Tianshui Academy team all have the best soul ring configurations of yellow, purple and purple. The Junbing bows and ice phoenixes shimmering with cold light exude a biting chill, making opponents shudder. Before the game officially started, the overall momentum of the Star Luo Royal Academy team suddenly dropped significantly. Only then did Davis and Zhu Zuyun realize that the young man in front of them was not bragging. He indeed had the ability to defeat Daimubai. How is this possible? You are not even 20 years old and you have already exceeded level 50. Even if the facts are before their eyes, Davis and others are not willing to believe it. The game begins. With the referee's announcement, this eye-catching game finally began. Binger, let's fight quickly. Clear. With the sudden flash of the first soul ring, Shui Binger instantly activated the first soul skill, freezing. At the same time, Xiao Han spread out his ice wings and soared into the sky. A layer of crystal-clear blue ice instantly enveloped all 7 members of the Douluo Royal Academy team. Xiao Han swooped down from the air, the 5th soul ring on his body flashed at the same time, and blizzard arrows shot out of the air, heading towards the ring. Bang! Bang! Relying on their strong souls, Davis and Zhu Zuyun took the lead in breaking through Shui Binger's ice blockade. Just as they were preparing to launch an attack, the blizzard whirlpool overhead came overwhelming. The entire arena was immediately submerged by the blizzard. The temperature around the arena dropped suddenly, and the soul masters who were watching the battle also felt the cold. Those with lower soul power were shivering from the cold. Shui Yuei and several other teammates also launched attacks. In the ice and snowstorm, dense and cold snowflake blades and water blades cut away at those members of the Douluo Royal Academy team. The 7 people not only had to resist the continuous attacks and the invasion of cold air, but their strength was also limited. Davis did not expect that Xiao Han had such a powerful 10,000-year soul skill that it could directly change the combat environment. He gritted his teeth and shouted, "Zuyun, use your special move." Just when Davis and Zhu Zuyun were about to join forces to perform the soul fusion technique, an icy blue halo centered on Shui Binger suddenly spread to all directions and directly hit Zhu Zuyun. Davis reacted quickly and jumped into the air with the help of his legs. But what greeted him was a roaring ice blast arrow. "I want to use martial soul fusion skills, but I have no chance." Boom tilde. The powerful ice blue arrow hit the huge white tiger, and the moment the two collided, they made a deafening sound. Davis was blown away by the shock wave generated by the explosion, and fell heavily to the edge of the ring, vomiting blood. Chapter 80 The Strength of the Wahundian Team. Watching Davis being beaten by Xiao Han, Daimubai felt very uncomfortable. Daimubai has always dreamed of defeating Davis, but he wanted to rely on his own strength, not others to do it for him. No matter what, Davis is also a brother with the same blood as him. The two brothers were beaten up by the same person, and Daimubai felt even more aggrieved. Seeing Davis's miserable condition, Daimubai was furious. "Damn Xiao Han, I must kill you. Davis, Zhu Zuyun, what are you two doing? Why didn't you use the martial soul fusion skill earlier?" Tang San patted Daimubai on the shoulder and comforted. "Boss Dai, the matter has come to this, there is no point in worrying. They don't understand Xiao Han's soul skills, so they were caught off guard, and they didn't have time to use the martial soul fusion skill." Several people on the side were silent. In fact, everyone knows very well that even if Davis and Zhu Zuyun can successfully perform martial soul fusion skills, they will not be able to defeat the Tianshui Academy team. Daimubai and Zhu Zuqing were thinking in their hearts, if they met the Tianshui team, would they make the same mistake as Davis and Zhu Zuyun? Under Xiao Han's suppression, could they jointly display their martial arts in such a short period of time? Soul fusion skills. As Davis was kicked out of the ring, those in the Douluo Royal team lost their backbone and panicked. Immediately afterwards, Zhu Zuyun was also blasted out of the ring by Shui Binger. The remaining people were also kicked out one after another by Shui Yuei and others. The Xinglo Royal Academy team, which had 6 fighting soul sects, only lasted a few minutes in the ring before being completely defeated by Tianshui Academy. The soul masters who were watching the battle were shocked by the strength of Tianshui Academy. In the audience, there was a lot of discussion, and people were amazed at the powerful strength of Tianshui Academy. It's unbelievable that the Tianshui Academy team defeated the Douluo Royal team so easily. You must know that the Douluo Royal team has 6 fighting soul sects. Yes, especially that Xiao Han, who used 2 10,000-year soul skills from the beginning, catching the Douluo Royal team off guard and directly determining the outcome of this game. But having said that, the Douluo Royal team also relies too much on the martial soul fusion skills of Davis and Zhu Zuyun. Once they are unable to use them in time, the strength of the entire team will be greatly reduced. Yes, although martial soul fusion skills are powerful, they also require tacit cooperation and timing among team members. It is not always possible to achieve what one wishes. It seems that this year's Soul Master competition is really a crouching tiger, hidden dragon. The overall strength of the Tianshui Academy team is not inferior to the Wahundian Academy team with 3 Soul Kings. Speaking of the Wahundian Academy team, they haven't fully demonstrated their strength yet. I don't know what kind of competition they will have against Tianshui Academy. Witnessing the entire process of the match just now, everyone in the Wahundian Academy team realized that Tianshui Academy should not be underestimated. Yan, who was very arrogant before, became serious now. This year's Tianshui team is a bit powerful, stronger than I imagined. That's right, especially Xiao Han. His 2 10,000-year soul skills are a huge threat. If our 2 teams meet, he will be the first one to deal with. Hu Liena reminded. There is still a Soul King in their team who has not played. Although she is an assistant, we still cannot be careless. The Star Luo Royal Academy team's loss in this game means that they are eliminated from the competition. This is the end of this Soul Master competition. The Tianshui Academy team successfully advanced to the top 6. Amid cheers, Xiaohan and others walked out of the competition venue. They did not leave the field, but returned to the Academy's viewing seats. There are 3 games left, and the 3 winning teams may become their opponents in the next round. The next group of games begins. The opponents of the Shrek Academy team are not very strong. Although all the Shrek 7 monsters came on stage, Daimubai and Zhu Zuqing did not use their martial soul fusion skills. However, they still defeated their opponents and successfully advanced to the top 6. Next is the showdown between Thunder Academy and Blazing Academy. In the qualifiers, Thunder Academy defeated Blazing Academy. In the promotion match, Lei Dong, the vice-captain of Thunder Academy, was seriously injured by Dai Mubai and is still unable to play until now. However, relying on the violent attacks and the air superiority of Yu Tianxin and the Thunder Eagle Spirit Master, after a fierce battle, they finally defeated Blazing Academy and advanced to the top 6. The next set of duels attracted much attention. The Wahundian Academy team will face another seed team, the Tiando Royal Academy team. All the teams that advanced to the top 6 did not leave, and they all wanted to understand the true strength of the Wahundian Academy team by watching this game. On the Tianshui College team's side, everyone is staring at the playing field. Xiaohan knew that the brother and sister Hu Liena and Xiaoyu could work together to perform the martial soul fusion skill Yao Mei. Within the control range of this skill, everyone's senses will be reduced by 50%, soul power will be suppressed by 50%, and all actions will be sluggish by 50%. In addition to the 3 negative states imposed, only Xiaoyu and Hu Liena can see within the range of the demonic red mist, and others cannot spy on the situation inside the red mist. Although this martial soul fusion skill is powerful, it also has huge flaws. Its restricted range is limited and cannot threaten the Soul Master with air superiority. Moreover, its negative status will also be imposed on one's own Soul Master. This means that when the brother and sister use this soul skill, they cannot cover the entire field. Shui Binger and Shui Wu's martial soul fusion skill Ice and Snow Floating can cover the entire field and has extremely strong ice power, freeze restriction effect. Therefore, Xiaohan is confident that he can defeat the Spirit Hall Academy. Under the gaze of the crowd, a total of 14 players from the Spirit Hall Academy and the Tiando Royal Academy entered the competition venue and slowly walked towards the competition arena. Walking in the front of the Spirit Hall team were Xiaoyu, Hu Liena and Yan. The 3 of them looked confident and calm, and they caused a sensation as soon as they appeared. These 3 are the best of the Spirit Hall's golden generation. They were awarded the Spirit Hall Purple Record Medal by Pope Bibi Dong himself, and they are also the youngest Soul Masters to receive this honor. The Spirit Hall team must win. The championship belongs to the Spirit Hall. The Soul Masters from the Spirit City cheered for them. The Tiando Royal Academy was led by Yu Tianeng from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. They felt a strong sense of oppression. The pressure came from both the Spirit Hall team and the audience. Shui Binger stood beside Xiaohan and asked softly. Xiaohan, is the black-haired girl in the Tiando team the Yi Lingling you mentioned before? Yes, that's right. Chapter 81 Final Top 3. As a seeded team, the Tiando Royal Academy team had a bye in the first round, and the opponent in the second round was not strong, so Yi Lingling did not play. This was her first time standing on the stage of the finals. At the announcement of the referee, the game began. The players of both teams released their own martial spirits and spirit rings. Xie Yu, Yan and Hu Liena, who stood at the front of the team, each had 5 spirit rings of yellow, purple, and black flashing on their bodies. The other 5 people all had 4 spirit rings of yellow, purple and purple flashing on their bodies. Without exception, they all had the best spirit ring configuration. Although they had heard about it before, Yu Tianeng and his companions were still frightened when they saw it with their own eyes. The overall momentum of the team was weakened a bit. In the Wuhun Hall team, Hu Liena was the first to attack. A layer of light red light emerged from her body, and the moment that charming gaze touched Yu Tianeng hesitated for a moment. "Everyone, be careful, don't look into her eyes." When Yu Tianeng reacted, it was too late. The 5 soul rings on Hu Liena's body flashed at the same time. As the soul rings fluctuated in sequence, the red light on her body became stronger and stronger. Xie Yu waved the 2 blood-red moon blades in his hand. At the moment of collision with Hu Liena, the red light curtain suddenly spread and burst out, covering half of the ring in the blink of an eye. The 7 members of the Tiando royal team were all enveloped in the red light. "Is that a martial soul fusion skill?" Seeing that scene, Shui Binger blurted out. Xiao Han nodded. "Yes, it's a martial soul fusion skill. The martial soul fusion skill of the brother and sister seems to have restrictions on teammates, so the 5 people didn't dare to get close." Yan originally stood with Xie Yu and Hu Liena. When the brother and sister started the fusion, he consciously stepped back a few steps and came to the other 4 teammates. None of the 5 of them seemed to have any intention of attacking. The red light flashed, and Xie Yu and Hu Liena suddenly turned into a person with long flowing hair and looked neither male nor female during the rotation. The man's hair turned red, holding 2 huge moon blades. This is their martial soul fusion skill, Demon Charm. In the rich red light, the figure of the red-haired demon moved. The 7 people of the Tiando royal team couldn't see their opponents clearly in the red light, like lambs to be slaughtered. Figures were thrown out one after another, and blood splattered. Soon, only Yu Tianeng and Douluo Yan were still struggling. The soul masters who were watching the battle could not see clearly what happened in the red light from the outside. Suddenly, Douluo Yan was also blasted out, spitting blood. Yan. Seeing the miserable state of his granddaughter, Douluo Bo was furious and wanted to rush up and kill the red-haired monster immediately. The red light curtain faded without any sign, and the red-haired monster turned back into Xie Yu and Hu Liena. Yu Tianeng was still standing on the ring, but his body was covered with scars and trembling constantly. "Since you are from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, I will spare your life." After Xie Yu finished speaking, he gently waved the moon blade in his hand, and Yu Tianeng fell to the ground. After doing all this, Xie Yu, Hu Liena and Yan looked at the Tianshui College team almost at the same time. Xie Yu and Yan made a gesture of wiping their necks towards them. Facing their provocation, Xiao Han unceremoniously raised a middle finger first, and then turned the raised thumb upside down to point to the ground. Seeing Xiao Han's action, the 2 guys looked at each other, confused. Shui Yue asked curiously. "Xiao Han, what do you mean?" "It means they are not very good, very weak." "Do they understand?" "It doesn't matter, just mess with their mentality." Compared to the crushing of the Xingluo Royal Academy by the Tianshui Academy team, the Wuhundian Academy team performed more domineeringly. Although they were all main players, only 2 of them took action and completely defeated the opponent. Of course, the strength of the Xingluo Royal team is incomparable to the Tiando Royal team. Most of the Soul Masters watching the game believe that the Tianshui Academy team has the strength to compete with the Wuhundian Academy team for the championship. The top 6 teams of the finals are all released. Before the start of the 4th round, each team has a day of rest and adjustment time. The next day, the draw results for the top 6 teams came out. Tianshui College vs. Shenfeng College. Shrek College vs. Lei Ting College. Wuhundian College vs. the second-ranked college in the Xingluo Empire Division. Feng Xiaoshan found Xiaohan, feeling a little depressed. We, Shenfeng College, are not very lucky. We actually drew your Tianshui College. If we drew Lei Ting, Shrek or Xingluo, we would also be able to enter the final three. Just accept your fate. It's good that you didn't draw the Wuhundian team. That's right. Who wants to fight with those cruel guys? Thinking of Xie Yu and Hu Lian's Wuhun fusion skills and the miserable conditions of the Tiando royal team, Feng Xiaoshan's scalp tingled. Feng Xiaoshan knew that with the overall strength of their team, it was impossible to defeat the Wuhundian team. He had the ability to fly, and he also had powerful self-created soul skills, so he was naturally not afraid of the three fighting soul kings. However, he didn't want to see his teammates being abused. Good brother, only 2 people from the Spirit Hall team attacked yesterday. Their strength is unfathomable. You will definitely meet them in the final duel. Be prepared in advance and don't let those 2 guys complete the spirit fusion skill. Xiaohan leaned close to Feng Xiaoshan's ear and whispered, Brother Feng, to tell you the truth, Binger and Shuiwu also have spirit fusion skills, which are more powerful than those 2 people's charm. Really? Feng Xiaoshan looked at Xiaohan in surprise. I knew you were holding back. Hey, it seems that my self-created spirit skills that I have been holding back for so long will not be useful. Don't be discouraged, that is your painstaking work, and it will definitely be useful in the future. By the way, will we still play tomorrow's game? Feng Xiaoshan smiled. Of course we have to play, just treat it as a friendly match, you know. Okay, just play casually when the time comes. Xiaohan understood what Feng Xiaoshan meant. He wanted to take this opportunity to promote the relationship between the players of the 2 colleges. When Shrek learned that their opponent in the next round was Thunder Academy, they felt relieved. They were lucky and didn't encounter strong opponents along the way. The Fire Spirit Master was very strong against Tang San's Blue-Silver Grass Spirit. Yesterday, Thunder Academy defeated Blazing Fire Academy and eliminated it directly. In the promotion match, Shrek Academy defeated Thunder Academy. In the next round, the 43rd level Control Spirit Master of Thunder Academy still couldn't play, and the overall strength was weakened, and it couldn't pose a threat to Shrek Academy. From this point of view, the final 3 teams have basically been determined in advance, namely Wuhun Hall Academy, Tianshui Academy and Shrek Academy. The next day, the 4th round of the game began. Because the opponent gave up the game, the Wuhun Hall team directly advanced to the top 3. Shrek Academy defeated Thunder Academy again and successfully advanced. The duel between Tianshui College and Shenfeng College was more like an exhibition match, which ended happily with Tianshui College winning. The 5th round of the competition is coming soon. The remaining 3 teams are only 1 step away from the final championship. Chapter 82 Secret Meeting with Yu Guan. The final 3 teams will compete in the square in front of the Pope's Palace. At that time, Bibi Dong will personally watch the game and award the final champion. The night before the game, Xiaohan was resting in the room when an uninvited guest suddenly came. A white shadow quietly entered from the window, scaring Xiaohan. When he looked carefully, he found that the person was Elder Zhu Yuguan. It turned out to be Elder Zhu. Boy, aren't you afraid of me? Of course not. It's as easy for you to kill me as to crush an ant. If you really want to kill me, I'm dead now. Yu Guan smiled softly. Don't worry, I won't kill you. What do you think of my last proposal? I know you are doing this for my own good, and want me to join the Spirit Hall, so that I can save my life. However, due to personal reasons, I cannot join the Spirit Hall before graduation. However, we can be friends first. Yu Guan smiled. Okay, let's talk about it after you graduate. By the way, how did you get that Qirong Tongtian chrysanthemum immortal grass? I got it by accident in the Sunset Forest 2 or 3 years ago. Sunset Forest. I didn't expect that a Qirong Tongtian chrysanthemum immortal grass would grow in that soul beast forest. You are destined to have it. This may be the arrangement of fate. 2 or 3 years ago, you knew Qirong Tongtian chrysanthemum. Yes. I have been interested in flowers and plants since I was a child. I learned a lot about exotic flowers and plants through the Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses. After hearing this, Yu Guan was shocked. Have you read Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses? To be honest, I asked Prince Shui Qinghe to borrow it from your spirit hall. The one he gave me was not the original, but a replica. Xiao Han deliberately let Yu Guan know that he had a special relationship with the fake prince. I see. Yu Guan nodded slightly, thinking. As Bibi Dong's confidant and one of the elders of the spirit hall, he also knew that the current Shui Qinghe was pretended by Qian Runshui. He guessed that Xiao Han had already gained Qian Runshui's trust, so Qian Runshui helped Xiao Han get such a precious book as Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses. Thinking of this, Yu Guan felt relieved. Even if Xiao Han did not join the spirit hall now, as long as he helped Qian Runshui, he would not become the enemy of the spirit hall. Tomorrow we will have the final showdown. Are you ready? Of course, we are here for the championship. Champion, I am not trying to discourage you. You have not seen the true strength of the Spirit Hall team. They are determined to win the championship. I don't want to see you get hurt because of challenging them. Xiao Han smiled disapprovingly. Do you think so badly of us? You are indeed very strong, and your personal strength is even above theirs. But you also saw that Xie Yu and Hu Liena have powerful spirit fusion skills that you can't crack at all. To tell you the truth, the Spirit Hall has prepared 3 valuable spirit bones as the champion reward for this Soul Master competition. Those 3 spirit bones will not fall into the hands of outsiders easily. Elder Ju, thank you for telling the truth. However, we still want to compete. Yu Guan smiled. You are indeed a proud boy. I didn't misjudge you. I wish you good luck. However, I still have to remind you to do what you can and don't force yourself. Okay, I got it. I'm leaving. Don't let anyone know that I came to see you. Before Yu Guan finished speaking, he turned into a residual shadow and disappeared outside the window. The bright and brilliant sunshine fell on the earth, as if every inch of land was coated with a layer of dazzling golden light. Under the sunlight, the Pope's palace on the top of the mountain looked more solemn and glorious. In front of the Pope's palace, a wide road paved with bluestone led directly to the bottom of the mountain, with uniformed palace knights standing on both sides. They were tall and straight, with resolute faces, wearing bright silver armor, holding heavy knight swords in their hands, adding a bit of majesty to the Pope's mountain. Today, the final 3 will be in the square in front of the Pope's palace. Early in the morning, the 3 teams came to the square in front of the Pope's palace and waited quietly. The teams that had been eliminated were not qualified to watch the game. The teachers of the 3 colleges in Shui Qinghe were not allowed to stand in the square. They could only wait outside the square to watch the game. There were 21 players standing in the square. The 7 people from the Wuhun Hall Academy team all had confident looks on their faces, as if they were determined to win the championship. The Tianshui Academy team and the Shrek 7 Devils were relatively low-key. No one looked at each other, just waiting quietly. Xiao Han was the only substitute player on the field. He would replace the main player Chu Ruoshui. Finally, a team of 12 people came out from the side door of the Pope's palace. The red robes on them symbolized the identity of cardinals. The 12 cardinals walked to the door of the Pope's palace and stood on the left and right, with 6 people on each side. His Majesty the Pope has arrived. Long live, long live, long live. The loud shouts resounded throughout the spirit city. The door of the Pope's palace slowly opened, and everyone's eyes were unconsciously attracted to it. A woman wearing a golden long dress, a purple gold crown on her head, holding a scepter, with a solemn face and noble temperament walked out of the Pope's palace. This woman was the Pope of the Spirit Hall, Bibi Dong. There were 4 people following Bibi Dong. Elder Ju Yugan, Elder Ghost Gime, Jian Douluo and Honorary Elder Ning Fengji of the Spirit Hall. Greetings to His Majesty the Pope. At this moment, all the people belonging to the Spirit Hall knelt on one knee and saluted their Pope. In the square, the 7 people of the Spirit Hall Academy team also knelt down. However, the 7 people of the Shrek 7 Devils and the Tianshui Academy team did not kneel down. Xiao Han had known for a long time that those people from Shrek would not kneel. Therefore, before going on the court, he specifically told his teammates not to kneel. Bibi Dong looked at the 14 people standing in the center of the square, her face calm. However, those people from the spirit hall glared at the group of young spirit masters. A cardinal said angrily, "How dare you disrespect His Holiness the Pope?" Bibi Dong raised her hand and signaled the cardinal to shut up. Then, her eyes swept over the 14 people and found Xiao Han at a glance. Xiao Han stood with the 6 girls, too conspicuous. "Are you Xiao Han who was admitted to Tianshui College as an exception?" "Yes, His Holiness the Pope." Bibi Dong nodded slightly. As a peerless strong man, she could naturally feel that Xiao Han's strength was definitely not inferior to the 3 geniuses of the Spirit Hall. "Very good, you are indeed different." Then, Bibi Dong set her sights on Tang San. "Are you Tang San, the master's disciple?" "Yes, His Holiness the Pope." "Yes, you really have some of the character of your teacher back then." "I dare not compare with my teacher." Bibi Dong said nothing more, waved the scepter in her hand, and signaled those people in the spirit hall to stand up. Those people stood up and waited for her opening speech. Chapter 83 Hard Fight with the Spirit Hall Team. Bibi Dong's eyes swept across the 21 people in the center of the square. "You are all the best in this year's Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Competition. In front of the Pope's Palace, I hope to see all your talents and strengths. The final winner will receive generous rewards from the Spirit Hall." After Bibi Dong finished speaking, she gently waved the scepter in her hand, and 3 points of light appeared in front of her. The light instantly enlarged and floated in the air. It was 3 soul bones. From the shape, it is not difficult to tell that the flashing light blue piece is the head soul bone, and the fiery red piece is the right arm soul bone, the dark green one is the left leg soul bone. The 3 soul bones are all of good quality, and they all come from soul beasts that are 10,000 years old or above. Their appearance instantly attracted the attention of the soul masters present. Soul bones are rare and precious. They can be found but not sought. Many soul masters have never owned a soul bone in their entire lives, and many of them are powerful ones at the title Douluo level. The ghost standing behind Bibi Dong suddenly said, "These 3 soul bones are the wisdom skull that condenses the spirit, the right arm bone that explodes and burns with flames, and the left leg bone that chases the wind at extremely fast speeds. They are all from 10,000-year-old soul beasts. Among them, the spiritual skull is from a Gundam that is 10,000 years old. The 50,000-year-old soul beast was obtained by killing the soul beast personally, and it can be said to be the best soul bone." Bibi Dong took over the ghost's words. "There is only one winner in the end. These 3 soul bones will belong to the championship team. I hope that all 3 of your colleges can go all out to win this honor." Looking at the 3 soul bones, everyone on the field was looking forward to it. The 3 soul kings from Wahundian Academy all had red eyes and high spirits, eager to start the competition immediately. Bibi Dong continued. "This morning, each of your 3 teams will have 7 players for an individual knockout round. The winning team will take the lead and directly enter tomorrow's finals. The losing teams will compete for another finals spot in the afternoon. The game will start soon, you guys, it's time to send out the first player." The competition rules for the semi-finals were decided temporarily by Bibi Dong. Except for Wahundian Academy, the other 2 academies did not know about it. Yu Shaogang reacted quickly and his expression changed drastically. The knockout round is the same as the promotion round. 3 teams participate together, which is the most unfavorable for Shrek Academy. Both the Wahundian team and the Tianshui team have 3 soul kings, and the other team members are all at the soul sect level. The overall strength gap is large. It is impossible for the Shrek 7 Devils to win in a one-on-one elimination match. They can only participate in the afternoon showdown as the loser. Furthermore, when competing against powerful opponents such as Xiao Han, Shui Binger, Yan, Xiaoyu, and Hu Liena, the risk of injury to the Shrek players is greatly increased. After the elimination rounds in the morning, and then the team battle in the afternoon, it is a great test for physical strength and soul power. Even if they barely win, they will still have to face the team that has been waiting for work in advance tomorrow morning, and there is no chance. Yu Shaogang thought of a plan to kill two birds with one stone. He took the initiative to withdraw from the knockout round and entered the loser group, allowing Wuhandian Academy and Tianshui Academy to compete. The two academies are both very strong, and they will definitely fight to the death for the spot for direct promotion. If they both lose, no matter who advances, Shrek Academy will reap the benefits. Thinking of this, Yu Shaogang suddenly stood up and said loudly, "Your Majesty, please wait a moment, I have something to say." Everyone's attention was interrupted by Yu Shaogang's sudden words. Bibi Dong was slightly startled, looked at Yu Shaogang, and said calmly, "Master, what do you have to say?" Yu Shaogang bowed in the direction of Bibi Dong. His Majesty the Pope, our Shrek Academy gives up the first half of the knockout round and voluntarily enters the loser group finals in the afternoon. As soon as these words came out, the scene was in an uproar. The Shrek 7 monsters all looked surprised. They didn't expect it, but they quickly reacted. Tang San and the others looked at each other and understood what Yu Shaogang meant. Behind Bibi Dong, an imperceptible smile appeared on Ning Fengji's face. Obviously, Yu Shaogang made a very wise decision. The three Soul Kings of the Wuhandian team all looked astonished. Before arriving at the Pope's Palace Square, they received instructions from Bibi Dong. When they faced Tang San in the knockout round, they would find ways to kill him on the ring. Although the Soul Master competition clearly stipulates that no one is allowed to kill, accidents are inevitable. This is the territory of Wuhun Palace. If you kill, you will kill. No one dares to hold you accountable. Tang San is Tang Hao's son and possesses twin martial spirits. If not contained, he may become the next Haoshan Douluo. Bibi Dong will never allow this to happen. No matter what means are used, Tang San must be killed in advance. But she didn't expect that Yu Shaogang would come and disrupt her plan. From the qualifiers to the promotion rounds and then to the finals, voluntarily abandoning the game was allowed. Bibi Dong could not refuse Yu Shaogang's proposal and could only change the plan and let the three heroes of Wuhandian compete in the following games. Obliterate Tang San. Master, are you sure you want to abandon the game and enter the loser group directly? I'm sure. Okay then, Shrek Academy abandons the competition and enters the loser group. As soon as Bibi Dong finished speaking, the attention of those in the Wuhun Hall turned to the 7 members of the Tianshui team. Yan, Xie Yu, and Hu Liena also stared at them closely, with provocation in their eyes. Xiao Han and Shui Binger suddenly felt a strong hostility, but they did not flinch. Senior sisters, don't be afraid, the championship will definitely be ours. Xiao Han's voice was small, but it revealed unquestionable determination, which instantly lifted the spirits of the girls. After Shrek's 7 people exited, there were only 14 people left in the square. Yan from the Wuhandian team stood up. He was ready for battle and looked confident. Suddenly, Xiao Han raised his right hand. Your Majesty the Pope, I also have something to say. Xiao Han, is it possible that you also want to give up the game? Bibi Dong's eyes fell on Xiao Han again, with a smile on her face. If Xiao Han took the initiative to give up the game on behalf of Tianshui College, Wuhun Hall College would be able to enter tomorrow's finals directly as the winner. Yu Shaogang and those people from Shrek suddenly became nervous again. They didn't have much chance of winning after competing with Tianshui College and Wuhun Hall College, which were both in a state of undefeated. Yan looked at Xiao Han and grinned, as if to say, are you afraid too? Just when everyone thought that Xiao Han would also propose to give up the game, he said something that shocked the audience. Your Holiness, we will not give up the game. I just have a suggestion. Our Tianshui College team is full of soul masters with ice and water attributes. That piece of flame right arm bone is obviously not suitable for us. If we can win the final championship, can you change a suitable soul bone for us? Chapter 84 Ice and Fire. Xiao Han's words shocked everyone present. Who would have thought that this young man would dare to make such a request to the Pope? Lin Zhiro and Ding Zhao were both frightened. Shui Qinghe glanced at the calm Xiao Han, with a bit of admiration in his eyes. This young man is getting braver and braver. What Xiao Han said makes sense, but ordinary people would never dare to talk to the high and mighty Pope Bibi Dong like this. Everyone looked at Bibi Dong in unison, wondering how she would react. Bibi Dong just smiled slightly and didn't blame Xiao Han. Although this young man was arrogant, he was not arrogant, and his proposal sounded reasonable. Xiao Han, it seems that you are very confident in winning the championship of this Soul Master competition. However, you must at least enter the final tomorrow to be qualified to make such a request. Your Majesty the Pope, do you agree? Bibi Dong nodded gently. If you can defeat the Spirit Hall Academy team next, you can directly enter tomorrow's finals, and I will prepare a spare soul bone for you in advance. Thank you, His Holiness the Pope. Okay, let's start the game. As the first person to play in the Spirit Hall Academy team, Yan has arrived at the center of the square. The square is the arena for the final 3 finals. It is paved with extremely hard stones, which is more solid than ordinary arenas and can withstand the attacks of soul masters below the soul saint level. This round of competition is a little different from the promotion competition. Although both are elimination rounds, there is no need to arrange the order of the player's appearance in advance, and it can be determined according to the appearance of the opponents. Xiao Han knew that Yan's soul power reached level 52, and his spirit was the Lord of Fire, with dual attributes of fire and earth, and strong attack power, which was not easy to deal with. So, he was the first to go on stage. In the center of the square, Xiao Han and Yan stood face to face. Yan had a head of fiery red hair, his body was covered with flame patterns, and a hot breath emanated from him. Completely different from Yan, Xiao Han exudes an extremely cold aura. A contest of ice and fire is about to begin. Everyone is looking forward to this duel. The game begins, you can release your martial spirits. With the referee's order, Yan suddenly opened his eyes, and there seemed to be 2 clusters of burning flames dancing in his pupils. His muscles were tense, and then a surge of soul power surged out of his body. Accompanied by a roar, a huge flame figure condensed behind him. The flame figure was several feet high, as if it was composed of rocks and flames, emitting a suffocating high temperature. Facing such a majestic fire element, Xiao Han seemed unusually calm. He slowly raised his hands, and a layer of faint blue light began to spread around his body, and a crystal-clear bow gradually emerged. Its bow is made of extremely cold gen ice, emitting a faint blue light, revealing a breathtaking chill. Ice and fire faced each other, and the 2 opposite elemental forces formed a sharp contrast in the center of the square. The air was filled with tension and excitement. Yan suddenly said, "Boy, you dare to fight against our Wuhun Hall Academy team. You have guts. However, I will definitely defeat you, and the final champion must belong to our Wuhun Hall Academy." Really? The game hasn't started yet, don't talk big. Go ahead. Looking for death, Yan roared and took the lead in attacking. With the sudden flash of the 5th soul ring on his body, Yan directly used his 10,000-year soul skill, flying sand and wild flames. Above the square, a red flame vortex was like a huge net, pressing down like an overwhelming force. As soon as this 10,000-year soul skill came out, the whole square seemed to be shrouded by a fiery power from ancient times. The red flame vortex, with violent wind and sand, swallowed everything around it in a red like a volcanic eruption. The center of the flame vortex was extremely hot, and it made a crackling sound. The students who were watching the battle could feel the terrifying power contained in the flame vortex even though they were hundreds of meters away. The flame was even stronger than Ma Hongjun's evil fire. They all showed shock on their faces and retreated one after another, fearing that they would be hurt by the residual power of the flame vortex. The sand and flames intertwined together to form an unstoppable destructive force, which pressed towards Xiao Han with a whistling sound. Yan knew that Xiao Han had the ability to fly, so he planned to block Xiao Han's way from the beginning and suppress him in this small space. Faced with the overwhelming flying sand and raging flames, Xiao Han did not withdraw. The blue light surrounding him became more intense. Junbing's bow and arrow were ready to go in his hand, and the arrow was aimed at the center of the flame vortex. The 5th soul ring on Xiao Han's body shone brightly. The 5th soul skill, Blizzard Arrow, is activated. A soul-stirring chill burst out from the Junbing bow and arrow, facing the menacing torrent of flames. With the release of the blizzard arrows, the temperature above the entire square dropped sharply, and the fiery aura originally filled by Yan's flying sand and wild flames was dissipating at an alarming speed. The chill carried by the blizzard arrows met with the violent heat wave of the flame vortex in the air. The two collided with each other, producing astonishing energy fluctuations. Over the square, frost and flames intertwined, forming brilliant colors, including the red of flames and the blue of ice and snow. The two heavens of ice and fire. The two collided in the air, making a crackling sound that was deafening, as if even the space was distorted by this force. Although Yan's flames are extremely violent, Xiaohan is immune to the flames and is not afraid at all. Moreover, his ultimate ice power is even better with the blessing of the octagonal black ice grass fairy grass. After encountering the blizzard arrows, the flame vortex's originally unstoppable offensive began to weaken. The crimson flames gradually dimmed under the erosion of Junbing, and the sand and stones in the flames also lost their original sharpness due to the low temperature. The blizzard encountered the flame vortex. Although its power was weakened, it still carried a chill that should not be underestimated, attacking Yan's body. When Yan saw this, his expression changed drastically. He didn't expect Xiaohan's fifth soul skill to be so powerful, able to compete with his fire and earth powers. He hurriedly mobilized the soul power in his body, trying to strengthen the power of the flames to resist the invasion of cold air. The third soul skill, the Flames of Hell, is activated. This is Yan's amplified soul skill. The power of fire is instantly increased by 100%. However, as soon as he activated this soul skill, an ice blue arrow suddenly exploded less than 1 meter away from him. Countless tiny ice shards adhered to the surface of his body the moment they came into contact with him, and quickly enveloped his entire body. This is another 10,000-year soul skill launched by Xiaohan, Ice Explosive Arrow. Chapter 85 Bibi Dong's Scheming. Hit by the sudden ice blast arrow, Yan felt an unprecedented chill instantly penetrate the defense of his flame body, as if even his soul was frozen by this powerful chill. Those tiny ice shards were not just physical attachments, they seemed to be devouring the heat in his body, making his movements slow and cumbersome. What kind of soul skill is this? Yan was horrified. He had never encountered an opponent who could restrain his fire attribute like this. At this moment, he seemed to be imprisoned in a cage made of ice. Xiaohan didn't give Yan any chance to breathe. He flashed and jumped into the air lightly, the Junbing bow in his hand once again condensed with dazzling blue light. End it. Xiaohan put away the ice crystal arrows and used the huge ice bow to directly hit the frozen Yan. Yan tried his best to break free. However, it was too late. The moment the ice broke, the huge ice bow slammed into Yan's body, and the huge force directly blasted him out of the competition area in the center of the square. At this moment, the entire square fell into dead silence. The cardinals in Wuhun Palace, the teachers and team members of the academy team all looked at this scene in stunned silence. None of them thought that the young man in front of them could defeat Yan so easily. You must know that among the Wuhundian Academy team, Yan's overall strength is the strongest. Lin Zhiro and Ding Zhao looked at each other and smiled, their eyes full of joy and pride. Fortunately, when Xiaohan blasted Yan out of the ring, he put away the ice crystal arrows in advance and did not hurt Yan, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. Witnessing Yan's failure with her own eyes, Bibi Dong's face showed no emotion, as if she had expected all this. She looked up at Xiaohan in the center of the square, and she happened to meet Xiaohan's eyes. Xiaohan did not deliberately avoid Bibi Dong's gaze. The moment the two looked at each other, Xiaohan felt as if his whole body was frozen in place, and his soul seemed to be separated from his body. This suffocating feeling only lasted for 2 seconds and then disappeared quickly. Such a powerful spiritual power. Is this the strength of a peerless Douluo? Xiaohan secretly lamented Bibi Dong's power in his heart. Yan slowly stood up, his body filled with a mixture of hot and cold breath. He also knew that Xiaohan had been merciful to him just now. Boy, you are indeed very strong. But I still say the same thing, the final championship must belong to our Wuhundian Academy team. After Yan finished speaking, he retreated to his teammates. Huliena and Xiaoyu looked at each other. Brother, let me go first and let him taste the power of my charm skills. Well, then be careful. The game continues. Yan's defeat put the Wahundian Academy team in a disadvantageous situation, but they were not discouraged, and instead ignited a more fanatical fighting spirit in their hearts. Huliena slowly walked towards Xiao Han in the center of the square. Suddenly, the teacher of the Wahundian Academy team stood up. He looked in the direction of Bibi Dong and bowed. His Majesty the Pope, on behalf of the Wahundian Academy team, I request to give up the knockout round and voluntarily enter the semi-finals of the loser group. As soon as these words came out, the scene was in an uproar and everyone was confused. Who would have thought that the Wahundian Academy team, which was most expected to win the championship, would abandon the competition directly? The faces of the cardinals showed disbelief and anger. Huliena froze on the spot and looked back at their teacher, feeling very surprised. Bibi Dong smiled and nodded. Instead of being angry, she was satisfied with the teacher's decision. Because she had other plans in mind. Okay then, just concentrate on preparing for the semi-finals against Shrek Academy in the afternoon. Nana, come back. Yes. Huliena glanced at Xiao Han unwillingly, and then stepped back. Bibi Dong immediately announced. As the winner of the individual elimination round, the Tianshui Academy team will directly enter the finals tomorrow morning. The Wahundian Academy team and the Shrek Academy team will compete in a team battle for another spot to advance to the finals. Hearing this result, the teachers and students of Tianshui College were a little excited. They can wait for work and directly prepare for tomorrow's final battle. Shui Binger came close to Xiao Han's ear and whispered. Xiao Han, you are so powerful. After seeing your strength, they actually gave up the game. I guess this is what Bibi Dong meant. They gave up strategically in order to preserve their strength and defeat Shrek Academy in the afternoon game. Well, I guessed that too. On the side of Shrek Academy, Yu Xiaoging's face was ashen. He originally thought that in order to directly advance to tomorrow's finals, the Wahundian team and the Tianshui team would fight to the death and both sides would suffer. Unexpectedly, the proud and arrogant Wahundian Academy team would take the initiative to abandon the game. Now, their Shrek Academy is facing even greater pressure. After everyone dispersed, Bibi Dong called Huliena, Xieyu and Yan into the Pope's palace. Bibi Dong's eyes swept across the three of them. Yan lowered his head and did not dare to look at her, as if blaming himself for his failure. Water and fire restrain each other. Whoever is stronger will be the winner. After all, Xiao Han has two 10,000-year soul rings, and his total soul power is higher than yours. Yan, it's normal for you to lose to him, don't blame yourself. Adjust your mentality and prepare for the afternoon game. Yes, Your Majesty the Pope. Yan felt a little better. Bibi Dong continued. It's my intention to give up the individual elimination round, so you don't have to think too much. Nana, I've tested it out. Xiao Han's mental power is definitely better than yours, and your charm skills are not enough to threaten him. Even if you and Xieyu if we can defeat him through a wheel battle, there is a fighting spirit king with the top-notch beast spirit Ice Phoenix. Instead of fighting them to the death, it is better to save our strength and defeat Shrek Academy first, and then use spirit fusion skills to defeat them tomorrow. The three of them looked at each other, and then they understood what Bibi Dong meant. As the captain of the team, Xieyu stood up and said with confidence. Your Majesty the Pope, please rest assured that we will definitely defeat those two colleges and live up to your expectations of us. Tianshui College is regarded by them as the biggest threat on the road to winning the championship. They never took Shrek Academy seriously, thinking that Shrek Academy was lucky and encountered teams that were not strong enough. Bibi Dong suddenly became serious. I called you three here not to explain to you why I gave up this game, but to remind you not to underestimate Shrek Academy. Huliena said doubtfully. Teacher, there is no Soul King in their team, and there are only 3 soul sects. The others are all soul lords. Are they really that strong? Of course, because their leading teacher is Yu Xiaoging, a master of theory. I know him better than anyone else. With him, everything is possible. Yes, we understand, and we will definitely remember your teachings. A cold smile suddenly appeared on Bibi Dong's face. There is a more important point, don't forget it. Clear. Bibi Dong gave the three of them a secret mission to get rid of Tang San in the game. The purpose of giving up the personal duel with Tianshui Academy was to be able to face Shrek Academy and implement this plan. Moreover, Bibi Dong was still secretly competing with Yu Shaogang in her heart, wanting to see Yu Shaogang and Lu Erlong frustrated. Chapter 86 3 Trump Cards. The Wuhandian Academy team took the initiative to abandon the competition, which was beyond everyone's expectations. The teachers and students of Shrek Academy are under increasing pressure. If the Wuhandian team and the Tianshui team go all out to compete for a spot in the finals, no matter which side loses, there will be a huge consumption. All members of the Shrek team are healthy. In the afternoon game, they will be more confident when facing a team that is not in a state of complete victory. However, things did not develop as they imagined. Although Yan from the Wuhandian team lost to Xiao Han, he was not injured. The remaining 6 main players did not play, and they can all be in their best condition for the afternoon semifinals. This is a huge challenge for Shrek Academy. After returning to the hotel, Yu Shaogang gathered a few people together. The development of the matter was beyond my expectation. I didn't expect that Bibi Dong, who has always been proud, would take the initiative to abandon the game. Teacher, you mean that it was Pope Bibi Dong's idea to abandon the game? That's right. Without Bibi Dong's permission, the leading teacher of Wuhandian Academy would never dare to make the decision to abandon the competition in front of the elders. I see. It seems like they want to conserve their strength against us. Yu Shaogang nodded and sighed. Xiao San, you are right. In fact, I am more worried that the person they really want to deal with is you. Teacher, you don't have to worry about me. Even with Uncle Ning, Sword Douluo and Senior Dugu here, they can't do anything to me. What's more, there is still my father. After encountering the interception crisis, Tang San mentioned to Yu Shaogang that his father Tang Hao might have been watching him secretly. Yu Shaogang said. Okay. In short, you must be careful during the game. Well, I know. Yu Shaogang felt more relieved and then said. The afternoon game is a huge challenge for you. Do you have any ideas? Several people looked at each other. As the captain of the team, Dai Mubai was the first to stand up. Master, the Wuhandian team is too strong. This time we have to go all out. The Wuhun fusion skills of Zuqing and I will no longer be retained. With the full support of Rongrong and Xiao Ao, we will definitely be able to defeat them. Caught off guard. As the soul of the team, Tang San continued. In previous games, in addition to reservations about the auxiliary abilities of Rongrong and Xiao Ao, we also have 3 trump cards. Oscar was a little confused. Third brother, where are the 3 trump cards? Isn't it just the martial soul fusion skills of Boss Dai and Zhu Qing, and is there a 7-in-1 fusion? The 7-in-1 fusion was an inspiration that Yu Shaogang stole from the 7-in-1 fusion of Kengwei Academy. He used the assistance of Ning Rongrong and Oscar as the fusion center to fuse the soul powers of the Shrek 7 monsters into one. Although it is not a 7-in-1 martial soul fusion skill, it still has huge power. Tang San smiled coldly. There is also a trump card, which is to launch a sneak attack using fragments of my attached soul bone 8 spider spear. Third brother, what exactly does this mean? Be specific. It's just combined with my superb hidden weapon skills to sneak attack the opponent with poisonous spider spear fragments. What? Isn't this self-harm? Like Xiao Wu, everyone was shocked by Tang San's thoughts and a little worried about him. Tang San's external soul bone is connected to his body and is part of his body. The broken spider spear will cause him great pain. They have all seen that situation with their own eyes. Tang San smiled disapprovingly. You don't have to worry about me. I have already experienced such pain twice. I have already adapted to it and can bear it. Besides, with Uncle Ning here, the pain will only be short-lived. Having said that, several people still felt uneasy. Yu Shaogang said. Mistress, do you already have a plan for the afternoon game? Tang San nodded slightly, and then said. The strongest killing move in the Wuhandian team should be Xie Yu and Hu Liena's Wuhun fusion skill Yume. But the coverage of that skill is limited, and it will also impose the same restrictions on teammates. When they activate this soul skill at this time, the 6 of you will use Xiao Ao's flying mushroom intestines to take off, and I will contain their martial soul fusion skills and consume them. Xiao Wu said hurriedly. Didn't senior brother Qin Ming say that in that red light mist, soul power, vision and senses will be restricted? Brother, it is too dangerous for you to do this. Yes, third brother, this is too dangerous. Tang San smiled confidently. Don't forget, I can not only use the 8 spider spears to protect my body, but I also have the ability to use the purple devil eyes, ghost shadows to follow my footsteps, and the ability to identify locations by listening to sounds. The increase in my 8 spider spears should be able to offset the fusion of the martial souls of the 2 brothers and sisters. If that doesn't work, I'll use the spider spear fragments to attack them. Yan has fire and rock protection, and my spider spear fragments may not be able to hurt him. Then I'll leave him to you. Seeing that Tang San had made up his mind, the few of them said nothing more. Don't worry, Zuqing and I's martial soul fusion skills are more than enough to deal with Yan. Well, if we can defeat Wuhundian Academy in the afternoon, we will have a chance to defeat Tianshui Academy with 7-in-1 fusion tomorrow. After listening to Tang San's words, several people gained confidence. They stretched out their right hands at the same time, superimposed together, and shouted loudly. Shrek will win. Looking at the confident Shrek 7 devils, Yu Shaoging was very pleased. Then just follow Xiao San's plan. I believe you can defeat those 2 colleges and win the final championship. The time soon came to the afternoon. Pope Bibi Dong, the cardinals, Ning Fengji, Sword Douluo, Douluo Bo, and teachers and students from the 3 colleges of Wuhun Palace came to the square in front of the Pope Palace again. Tianshui College has advanced to tomorrow's final showdown and is eligible to watch the semi-finals of the other 2 colleges. Shui Binger stood beside Xiao Han and asked softly. Xiao Han, who do you think can win between the 2 teams? Maybe it's Shrek. Do you think so highly of them? Well, Wuhundian Academy may underestimate the enemy. Team Shrek had some reservations in the previous game, and Tang San might use some dirty tricks to catch them off guard. That person Tang San is indeed insidious. In the center of the square, the 2 teams stood opposite each other, both sending out all their main forces. A disdainful smile appeared on the corner of Xie Yu's mouth, and she deliberately provoked the general. 3 soul sects and 4 soul masters. How dare you challenge us with such a lineup? You are really overestimating your capabilities. My Moon Blade Eyeless will not attack you. They show mercy. Dai Mubai replied. HMPH. If you were really that powerful, you wouldn't abandon your armor and become deserters in front of Tianshui Academy. You guys just wait and see how I deal with you later. The 2 sides were at war with their swords and crossbows, and the atmosphere was extremely tense. This is destined to be a fierce competition. Chapter 87 Brutal Yakuza. Prepare for the competition, you can release your martial arts. Following the announcement from the cardinal referee, all 14 people in the center of the square released their respective martial spirits and soul rings. Xie Yu and Hu Liena quickly started moving. Along with them, there was also a soul master whose martial spirit was a golden scepter. The golden scepter in the hands of the fighting soul sect was raised high, and 2 golden rays of light fell on Xie Yu and Hu Liena respectively. The 2 quickly spun around and completed the martial soul fusion skill in the blink of an eye, transforming into a red-haired demon. Red light emanated from the red-haired monster, spreading in the direction of Team Shrek, and immediately enveloped all 7 of them. Seeing this scene, Yu Shaoging, Flender and Lu Erlong were all shocked. With the assistance of the assistant master, Hu Liena and Xie Yu's martial soul fusion skills are not only faster, but also more powerful. This was beyond their expectation. Shrouded in red light, Shrek and the others instantly felt that their movements were half a minute sluggish, and their senses were also restricted. The only one who was not greatly affected was Tang San. In order to cope with the restriction of the red light mist, Tang San released the soul bones attached to his 8 spider spears in advance to increase his own strength. He knew that it was no secret that he had an attached soul bone. The Wahundian team must have known about it in advance, so there was no need to hide it deliberately. Tang San reacted quickly and swung out 6 blue silver grass to wrap around the waists of 6 teammates, throwing them into the air. The red-haired demon smiled disdainfully. Do you think you can escape my control this way? The red-haired demon is controlled by Xie Yu. As soon as Xie Yu finished speaking, the red light became more intense and spread suddenly into the air, covering all the people in the low altitude in just an instant. If you want to escape from our control, you can't escape unless you have the ability to fly. Tang San smiled coldly. You're going to be disappointed, we happen to have the ability to fly. While Tang San was talking to Xie Yu, Oscar was frantically making flying mushroom sausages. At this time, he has created 6 flying mushroom sausages. Third brother, it's okay. Tang San fiercely exerted force, sending the 6 teammates to a higher place through the blue-silver grass. The moment he left the red light range, Oscar quickly threw 5 flying mushroom sausages to the 5 teammates in the air, and he also ate one himself. A strange scene appeared. The 6 people in the air all had pale pink wings stretched out from their backs and flew up. Those wings are made of soul power. In previous games, Oscar rarely played and only provided recovery sausages for his teammates. Therefore, Wahundian didn't know much about his soul skills and didn't expect that he could provide flying abilities to his teammates. With the ability to fly, Dai Mubai, Zhu Zuqing and Xiao Wu suddenly gained air superiority. Although the other 5 members of Wuhun Palace have reached the Soul Sect level, their attacks cannot pose a threat to Shrek and the others in the air. However, there is also a Soul Master with the ability to fly in the Wahundian team, and her soul is the Golden Waisted Flying Swallow. The Golden Waisted Flying Swallow Spirit Master tried to fly into the sky to fight. But as soon as they flew up, they were besieged by Ma Hongjun and Xiao Wu. Although Ma Hongjun is only at the Soul Master level, the power of the evil fire cannot be underestimated. Coupled with the extremely fast Xiao Wu, the power of the golden-belted Feiyan Soul Master alone is not enough. Dai Mubai and Zhu Zuqing launched attacks at Yan at the same time, but they did not use martial soul fusion skills, they just feigned attacks to distract Yan's attention. Several people in the air were trying to buy time for Tang San. Although Xie Yu and Hu Lian's martial soul fusion skills are powerful, they also consume a huge amount of their soul power. Tang San wanted to hold them back in the red light mist until their remaining soul power was no longer enough to support the spirit fusion skill and they would automatically release it. Once the martial soul fusion skill is released, the 2 Soul Kings are no longer a threat. In that case, Dai Mubai and the others can deal with Yan with Ning Rongrong's auxiliary boost. Tang San's plan seems to be perfect, but Xie Yu will not let him succeed easily. For Xie Yu, now is a good time to kill Tang San. Xie Yu held 2 huge moon blades and slashed at Tang San. After a few rounds, he was surprised to find that Tang San's speed didn't seem to be restricted much, and he was still able to do it with ease. Xie Yu was already very fast, but with Tang San's ghostly steps, he could always dodge his attacks. Even though the huge moon blade struck the spider's legs and left scratches, it did not cause any substantial damage to Tang San. Now, Xie Yu was a little anxious. He came with a secret mission, and there was no way Tang San could easily escape this disaster. You are faster than I thought, but do you think you can escape this way? Let me show you my self-created soul skill, Full Moon. After Xie Yu finished speaking, the soul power in his body became even more surging, and the 2 huge moon blades spun crazily in his hands. Immediately afterwards, he completely disappeared, as if the Buddha merged with the 2 moon blades and turned into a huge white disc. The white disc flew towards Tang San at an astonishing speed. Tang San was shocked, he didn't expect Xie Yu to have a self-created soul skill. With the increase in martial soul fusion skills, Yuanyu is faster and more powerful. Tang San felt an unprecedented pressure and quickly stretched out the 8 spider spear to block it. Bang! Bang! The 2 spider legs at the front were cut into pieces the moment they touched the white disc, and a strong sense of pain spread throughout the body. Tang San could feel the blood on his body flowing out from the broken spider legs. However, he didn't have time to think too much. Xiaoyu was obviously here for his life. In desperation, he dodged and used the remaining 8 spider spears to resist the white disc's attack. Bang! 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 3 more spider legs were chopped into pieces. Before, when Tang San faced off against Huo Wu and Xiao Han, his spider legs were also broken. At this time, the pain he felt was several times more intense than before. Damn it! That guy really wants to kill me. No, I can never admit defeat. Tang San dodged and blocked, black light surged in his left hand, and the clear sky hammer was released, facing the storm. When he released the clear sky hammer, 2 more spider legs were severed. Ah! Tang San roared angrily, concentrated all his strength, and slammed the clear sky hammer towards the white disc. Boom tilde. The moment the two collided, a deafening sound broke out. Tang San was blown away by the powerful shock wave, and the moment he landed, he used his only remaining spider leg to hold onto the ground. The red haze suddenly disappeared. The red-haired demon split into 2 and transformed back into Huliena and Xiaoyu. The 2 people's faces were a little pale and they were panting. Obviously, their remaining soul power is no longer enough to support their martial soul fusion skills. The auxiliary soul master of the Wuhundian team raised the scepter in his hand again, and 2 golden rays of light fell on Xiaoyu and Huliena respectively. Xiaoyu looked at Tang San, who was covered in blood and pale, and grinned. Among the 7 members of Shrek's team, only Tang San was brutally tortured. Little Yakuza, you lost miserably. Tang San raised the corners of his mouth, unwilling to be outdone. Really? You are the one who loses. Before Tang San finished speaking, he mobilized all the remaining soul power in his body and used the Tang sect's Batwing reincarnation technique to throw out a fragment of a spider spear. As soon as he launched the sneak attack, he vomited blood and collapsed weakly. Chapter 88 Bibi Dong, as expected of the man I admire. Although Tang San fell down, a proud smile appeared on his face. He ignored the pain on his body because the sneak attack trick had been successful. Suddenly, Huliena's body trembled slightly, and then her whole body staggered uncontrollably. She felt her arms become numb and felt a tingling sensation. Nana, what's wrong with you? As soon as Xiaoyu finished her words, she felt pain coming from her arm. Is this poisoning? Before he could react, the teammate holding the scepter behind him fell to the ground. Immediately afterwards, 3 other teammates also fell. Nana, sit down quickly and adjust your breathing. Xiaoyu and Huliena quickly sat down and tried to use their remaining soul power to resist the toxin. The other side. Dai Mubai and Zhu Zuqing never gave up their fight with Yan. This was the battle plan of the Shrek team to contain Yan. Seeing his teammates falling down one by one for no apparent reason, Yan panicked. Taking advantage of Yan's distraction, Dai Mubai and Zhu Zuqing activated the martial soul fusion skill Netherworld White Tiger, and with Ning Rongrong's boost, they rushed toward Yan fiercely. Ma Hongjun also took the opportunity to launch an attack from the flank. Oscar and Xiao Wu quickly returned to Tang San. Brother, how are you? I'm fine. Tang San was lying on the ground, his eyes half closed, and he squeezed out a few words in pain. The 2 of them helped him up. Oscar took out the big recovery sausage he had just made and gave it to Tang San to eat. Although Xiaoyu and Huliena tried their best to resist the toxin attack, it was still to no avail. The 2 of them consumed a lot of soul power when they used martial soul fusion skills. They were not in a state of complete victory and could not stop Tang San's spider poison at all. In just a minute or 2, their faces turned from pale to purple-black. Seeing this scene, Yu Guan, Gui Mei, and the cardinals in Wuhun Hall all looked angry. The leading teacher of Wuhundian Academy suddenly shouted. I protest. Shrek Academy members use poisonous hidden weapons to hurt people. This is cheating. Yu Shaogang stood up and responded. Tang San used his own soul bone fragments and did not use any foreign objects. This is completely in line with the rules of the competition. What Yu Shaogang said makes sense. The cardinal referee glanced at Bibi Dong and said nothing more. Du Gubo suddenly said. His Majesty the Pope, I need to remind you that Tang San's spider poison is a mixed toxin that even I can't detoxify, only he can detoxify it. If this continues, I'm afraid that only one member of the Golden Generation will be left. Bibi Dong's twin martial souls are both spiders, so of course she knows how powerful spider poison is. No matter how unwilling she is now, she still has to give up this game. She can ignore the lives of others, but she will definitely protect her prove Huliena's safety. In her heart, Hulina was not only her beloved disciple and heir to the throne of the Pope, but also a daughter-like existence. She would not just watch Huliena have an accident. Stop the competition, Wuhandian Academy has lost. Tang San, please detoxify them quickly. Yan stopped fighting Dai Mubai, Zhu Zuqing, and Ma Hongjun, and looked at Tang San with unwillingness. He never expected that Tang San would use such insidious means to turn the tide of the battle. Dai Mubai and others gathered around Tang San. Looking at his miserable condition, I feel heartbroken. Shaosan, you have suffered. Third brother. Tang San smiled. Don't be sad, we won the game, this pain is nothing. Ning Fengji, who was behind Bibi Dong, whispered. Pope, Tang San is seriously injured and cannot detoxify them. Let me treat him first. Bibi Dong did not speak, but nodded slightly. Then, Ning Fengji released the Qibao glazed pagoda martial spirit, and a colorful light floated out from the pagoda and landed on Tang San. Tang San suddenly felt less painful, and then stood up, slowly walking towards the members of the Spirit Hall team. He picked up a fragment of the spider spear from the ground, came to Xieyu's side, and stabbed the fragment into Xieyu's shoulder. Xieyu's complexion began to change, and the purple-black color gradually faded. Later, Tang San used the same method to detoxify Huliena and several others. In the process of detoxifying several people, Tang San took the opportunity to absorb their life force. Except for Xiao Han, no one knew about Tang San's despicable behavior. Looking at the situation on the field, Xiao Han reminded. Binger, when we face Shrek Academy tomorrow, you must be careful. If his spider spear breaks, use ice to protect everyone. I will blast him out of the ring as soon as possible. Okay, are you worried that he will use the same trick? Well, I won't let him hurt you, let alone detoxify you. Xiao Han knew that the Shrek team had retained the 7-in-1 fusion until now just to use it against them. It is not difficult to break the 7-in-1 fusion, just destroy it in advance and prevent them from using it. If the 7-in-1 fusion cannot be used, Tang San will use insidious means. Xiao Han will not let his plan succeed. After Tang San detoxified several people from Wuhandian Academy, he was supported by Dai Mubai and others as he walked off the playing field. Yu Shaogang, Flanders and Lu Erlong quickly stepped forward to greet them. Children, congratulations. You did it, successfully advanced to the finals, and are one step closer to the championship. The cardinal referee immediately announced. Shrek Academy won the semi-finals. Tomorrow morning, there will be a final championship match with Tianshui Academy. The moment the referee announced that Shrek Academy had won, there was a dead silence in the square. Disappointment and unwillingness enveloped the hearts of every Spirit Hall member like a dark cloud. Their faces were solemn, and their eyes revealed deep frustration, as if they were unwilling to accept the defeat of the golden generation of Wuhun Palace. However, in the end, we had no choice but to accept the reality. In this atmosphere of loss, the team members of Wuhandian Academy were also taken away. With the elimination of Wuhandian Academy, the championship of this Soul Master competition has become an internal fight in the Tiando Empire. No matter who loses or wins, the championship will belong to the Tiando Empire. Bibi Dong stood at a high place. Although she maintained the majesty of the Pope on the surface, the turmoil in her heart could not be calmed down. The relationship between Wuhun Palace and the two empires gradually became subtle. The defeat of the Golden Generation was undoubtedly a major blow to the prestige of Wuhun Palace. Bibi Dong looked in the direction of Team Shrek and met Yu Shaogang's eyes, with complex emotions in her eyes. Although she was disappointed with Shrek Academy's failure, watching her former lover lead the team to defeat the strong, she still couldn't help but admire him a little. Xiao Gang, you are still as outstanding as before. It would be great if you had not left Wuhun Hall and me. Chapter 89 Tianshui vs. Shrek. After returning to the hotel, Lin Zhiro summoned the team members. Tang San used strange techniques to poison several members of the Wuhun Palace team, which made Lin Zhiro worried. You have also seen today's game. The result was beyond our expectations. Shrek Academy actually defeated the weak and the strong, defeating Wuhundian Academy. The key person who turned the tide of the battle was Tang San. Although Xiao Han had defeated him before, but you must not be careless this time. Yu Haro said. That Tang San is really insidious, like a poisonous snake hiding in the dark, hard to guard against. Tang San is not the only one who is insidious. It's not unreasonable for Shrek to call themselves monsters. To be honest, I would rather meet the Wuhundian team than meet them. After witnessing today's semi-finals, the girls were a little wary of Tang San's insidious methods. Lin Zhiro continued. This is what I want to remind you, beware of that Tang San. Among you, only Xiao Han can resist his poison attack. Therefore, after the game started, Xiao Han had to blast Tang San out of the field as soon as possible to prevent him from using his poison attack. In addition, the martial soul fusion skills of the White Tiger and the Nether Civet Cat cannot be underestimated. With the lessons learned from the Star Luo Royal Academy team, they will definitely be able to display them faster. Binger tried her best to stop them, adapted to the situation, and Shui Wu became Bing children provide assistance. Kingbo, you are faster. I leave the food-based soul master who can provide flying abilities to your teammates. Luyu, go deal with that 7 treasure glazed tile pagoda soul master and prevent her from providing boosts to her teammates. Uaa, go deal with that agility attack rabbit. There is also a fire-type soul master with air superiority, which is handed over to Harrow. Do you still have any questions? Several people looked at each other, and Xiao Han reminded. Shrek Academy did not encounter a very strong team in the finals. They had some reservations about their strength. They only used the martial soul fusion skill today. I guess they have other big moves. Are there any other big moves? Yes. Yu Shaogang has been studying martial arts theory for many years and should have some inspiration, but it has not been shown yet. If I guess correctly, the launching point of their ultimate move is the 2 auxiliary soul masters. Shui Binger continued. What Xiao Han said makes sense. Today is the first time Ning Rongrong has played, and she has played a big role. Her 7 treasure glazed tile tower may have other wonderful uses. Lin Zhiro nodded. No matter what, we have to take the initiative in our own hands. No matter what they are going to do, we have to stop them in advance and disrupt their plans. After the game officially starts, Binger will activate the freezing skills as soon as possible. You will find the respective opponents resolve the battle in the shortest possible time. Clear. The other side. Yu Shaogang also called the Shrek 7 Devils to his room to arrange their tactics for tomorrow. Children, we are only one step away from the final championship. Are you all confident? Of course. It's necessary. Shrek will win. The Shrek 7 monsters were very excited. Yu Shaogang continued. Those people from Tianshui Academy watched today's game and should be on guard against Shaoxun's toxin attack, and may spend a lot of energy on this issue. In this case, you use the 7-in-1 fusion, it will definitely catch them off guard. They would never think that we still have a special move to deal with them. Ma Hongjun was very proud. Tang San was very cautious. He always felt that Xiao Han from Tianshui College was unfathomable and elusive. Although our 7-in-1 fusion is powerful, we only have one chance to use it. Therefore, we can only succeed and not fail. The basis of success is that we can act faster than them and strike first. Yu Shaogang took the words. Xiao San is right. This is what I want to remind you. Shui Binger, the captain of Tianshui Academy, has a group restriction skill, and it is an instant skill. You must complete the 7-in-1 faster before she launches an attack. Only through fusion can we defeat them. Clear. The 7 Shrek monsters have all seen Shui Binger's freezing skills and know the power of that soul skill. She does have the ability to prevent their 7-in-1 fusion. Tang San said confidently. You don't have to worry too much. If we are restricted and cannot successfully activate the 7-in-1 fusion, we can still deal with them like we dealt with the Wuhandian team today. In the Tianshui team, no one except Xiao Han can resist me. Even if they have seen the power of my hidden weapon, they can't break it. After I hit those girls, the 6 of you can just concentrate on dealing with Xiao Han alone. This is the second plan Tang San prepared for the team. He had seen all 5 of Xiao Han's soul skills, and he did not believe that Xiao Han's attack would be more powerful than Xie Yu's self-created soul skill, Full Moon. Xiao Wu felt a little sorry for Tang San. Brother, in that case, wouldn't you have to suffer the pain of being torn apart again? It's okay. With Uncle Ning here, the pain is short-lived. Look, I'm fine now. Everyone understood Tang San's good intentions. For the championship, he is not afraid of being abused, everything is worth it. Yu Xiaogang patted Tang San on the shoulder. Then do as the mistress said. It's getting late, so you all should go back and rest early. After leaving Yu Xiaogang's room, Tang San called Xiao Wu alone. Xiao Wu, I may not have time to take care of you in tomorrow's battle, so you must protect yourself. Although you have taken Senior Dugu's elixir, bleeding too much will expose the spirit beast aura on your body. Well, I understand. Bibi Dong is too powerful, and Wuhan City is her territory. A gentleman's revenge is never too late. We are still young now, and there will always be opportunities in the future. I promise you, I will kill her with my own hands and avenge your mother. Quote. Brother, don't worry, I won't be impulsive anymore. If we can defeat Tianshui Academy tomorrow and get the soul bones as a championship reward, we will leave Wuhan City as soon as possible and come back to Bibi Dong for revenge. Well, if you think so, that would be great. Time soon came to the next day. As soon as Xiao Han and the Tianshui Academy group arrived at the square in front of the Pope's palace, they saw 3 people walking towards them. They are Xiaoyu, Huliena and Yan from Wuhandian Academy. As the top 3 teams in the finals, Wuhandian Academy is qualified to watch the final showdown between Tianshui Academy and Shrek Academy. Yan looked at Xiao Han and said, Xiao Han, His Majesty the Pope has specially prepared a right-arm soul bone for you as a backup reward. Although I lost to you before, I am convinced that I lost. We are not convinced when we lose to the despicable Shrek Academy. I hope you can replace us. Pain flat they won the championship. Xiao Han smiled. Thank you for informing us about the soul bone in advance. Unfortunately, you were tricked by the little scoundrel and can't be our opponent. To be honest, those ugly guys in Shrek are not qualified to be our opponents. Don't worry, the championship will never fall into the hands of those clowns. Xie Yu sighed. We are also looking forward to a good fight with your Tianshui Academy, but there is no chance this time. The spider poison of that guy is very strong, you guys should take care of yourself. After that, the 3 left together. Xiao Han and his group continued to walk towards the center of the square. The Shrek 7 devils were already waiting there. Chapter 90 Crushing Shrek. The finals between Tianshui College and Shrek College officially kicked off. The sun shone on the square in front of the Pope's palace, adding a bit of solemnity to this final showdown. The eyes of the Shrek 7 devils were all focused on Xiao Han. They were defeated by Xiao Han in the Tiando Division promotion match, which was their most shameful battle. In that game, Ma Hongjun, Dai Mubai, Xiao Wu and Tang San were all seriously injured. They have been waiting for a chance for revenge. Today, it finally came. Dai Mubai said to Xiao Han. Finally I meet your Tianshui College again. Today I will make you pay for your blood debt with blood. Xiao Han smiled disdainfully and said sarcastically. Just relying on your nether white cat's martial soul fusion skill. We are still far from it. There is nothing to be proud of for using the evil spirit master's method to beat the Spirit Hall Academy. With your strength, you are not qualified to be our opponent. Ma Hongjun was very unconvinced. What did you say? Who is an evil spirit master? One is a chicken evil fire, and the other uses hidden weapon techniques to sneak attack. If they are not evil spirit masters, what are they? You. Fatty, stop talking, adjust your state and prepare for the game. Ma Hongjun was about to say something, but was stopped by Tang San. Tang San's face was calm and he behaved very rationally. He didn't want his emotions to affect his teammates' performance. The game was about to start, and everyone looked at the two teams in the center of the square, looking forward to their duel. In this Soul Master competition, Tianshui Academy has never lost a game and has been winning until now, almost crushing all opponents. They have the advantage of soul rings and total soul power against Shrek Academy. However, Shrek Academy defeated the stronger Wuhun Hall Academy yesterday, which should not be underestimated. Bibi Dong looked at Yu Xiaogang, who looked calm, and thought to herself. Xiaogang, how should you deal with it this time? Will it be as unexpected as yesterday? At this time, Yu Xiaogang was a little flustered, but he was just pretending to be calm. He knew that it would take time for Tang San and the others to perform the 7-in-1 fusion, and it would be difficult for them to succeed without Tianshui Academy underestimating the enemy. Prepare for the game, you can release your own martial spirits. With the referee's announcement, the 14 people on the field quickly moved. The 7 people from the Tianshui Academy team, Shuiwu stood behind Shui Binger, and the other 6 lined up in front, all releasing their own martial spirits and spirit rings. The Shrek 7 Devils did not form an orthodox lineup like they did before, but retreated quickly to form a circle as soon as the referee announced. Ning Rongrong and Oscar stood at the innermost part of the circle, and the other 5 people quickly moved around them. None of the 7 of them released their martial spirits first, but strong soul power fluctuations spread from them, madly converging towards the center of the circle. What is this? Seeing that scene, Bibi Dong, Ning Fengji, Jian Douluo, the 2 elders Zhu and Gui, and the cardinals of the Spirit Hall were all a little surprised. Even though they were knowledgeable, they couldn't understand what the Shrek 7 Devils were doing. Sisters, prepare to attack. Xiao Han shouted loudly. The 3rd and 4th soul rings on his body flashed at the same time, and as they rose into the air, they shot an ice explosion arrow towards the center of the circle. Seeing this, Yu Xiaogang's face changed drastically and he shouted angrily. Referee, I protest. The Shrek players have not released their spirits yet. The protest is invalid. The game time is up, and it is their own mistake not to release their spirits. Boom! Before the cardinal judge finished speaking, the ice explosion arrow exploded. Under the huge explosive force, the formation of the Shrek 7 Devils was not broken up. The combined soul power released from the 7 of them resisted Xiao Han's sudden attack, and barely stabilized the formation. However, it also consumed a lot of soul power from the 7 of them. Tang San panicked immediately. Even if he could perform the 7-in-1 fusion, the power would be weakened a lot due to the loss of total soul power. This situation did not allow him to think too much. Change. With Tang San's shout, the formation of the Shrek 7 Devils suddenly changed. It changed from a circle to a vertical line. Tang San stood in the front, followed by Dai Mubai, Xiao Wu, Ma Hongjun, Zhu Zuqing, Ning Rongrong and Oscar. Oscar suddenly hugged Ning Rongrong from behind, and when he was about to input soul power into her body, he suddenly felt that his body was out of control. It turned out that Shui Binger activated the group restriction skill, freezing. Not only Oscar, but the other Shrek people were also frozen. They were all wrapped in a layer of crystal-clear ice. The moment they were frozen, Shenluyu and Jiyu Qingbo jumped out from left to right and rushed directly to the rear of the team. They aimed at Ning Rongrong and Oscar respectively. Bang! Bang! As the ice shattered, 2 powerful forces blasted Oscar and Ning Rongrong out of the competition venue. Once these 2 auxiliary masters are eliminated, the 7-in-1 fusion cannot be completed. The Shrek team lost the ability to fight in the air and could not gain attribute increases. The sudden attack from Team Tianshui put Team Shrek into an extremely unfavorable situation. Ma Hongjun relied on his own evil fire to be the first to break free from the shackles of the ice. They were so close together that they were almost integrated into one body. Affected by Ma Hongjun's evil fire's power of ice, Dai Mubai, Tang San, Xiaowu and Zhu Zuqing also broke free from the shackles of the ice. Prepare the second battle plan. As Tang San spoke, he quickly released his external soul bone and martial spirit. Strands of blue-silver grass suddenly emerged from the ground and stabbed Shui Binger and the others. Tang San tried to use this to interfere with the Tianshui team's attack and create opportunities for Dai Mubai and Zhu Zuqing's martial soul fusion skills. However, the girls were well prepared. The stormy ice blade and water blade attacks easily chopped up the blue-silver grass. The moment they broke through the ice, Xiao Han also launched an attack. Countless ice-blue arrows were like meteor showers, shooting at Tang San and the others. Behind Shui Binger, Shui Wu had quietly completed preparations for the martial soul fusion technique. Suddenly the sky was covered with dark clouds, covering the entire square, and large flakes of snow fell down. The temperature in the square dropped suddenly, and even those watching the game on the sidelines felt an unbearable cold breath. The biting chill kept attacking Tang San and the others. Following Shui Binger's control, large swaths of snowflakes turned into a whirlpool of snowflake blades, cutting towards Tang San and the others. This is one of the forms of Shui Wu and Shui Binger's martial soul fusion skill Ice Snow Piao Ling. The vortex of snowflake blades rotated at an astonishing speed. Each snowflake was like a sharp blade, carrying biting cold wind and biting murderous intent, and soon completely enveloped Tang San, Dai Mubai, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zuqing. Inside, only Ma Hongjun, who was flying low in the sky, escaped temporarily. They actually also have martial soul fusion skills. Seeing the scene on the court, Liena blurted out. Chapter 91 The 100,000-Year Soul Beast Exposed. The sudden change on the field caused everyone's eyes to be firmly fixed on the swirling vortex of snowflake blades. The people who were watching the battle had expressions of disbelief on their faces. Bibi Dong frowned. She didn't expect that Tianshui Academy would hide such a powerful martial soul fusion skill. Her eyes glanced at Yu Shaoging. At this time, Yu Shaoging's face was pale, his hands were clenched into fists, and he had mixed feelings in his heart. The cold snowflake blade seemed to be cutting himself. He should have expected that Tianshui Academy also has soul masters who can perform martial soul fusion skills. But, it's too late now. Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo looked at each other, a hint of shock and regret flashed in each other's eyes. The situation of Team Shrek is extremely unfavorable. They couldn't help but worry about the situation of Tang San and the others. Ning Rongrong and Oscar were kicked out of the venue early and were not attacked by the sharp snowflake blade, which was already a better ending. The two elders, Ju Douluo and Ghost Douluo, exchanged a subtle look. Although they regarded themselves as members of the Spirit Hall, they also secretly praised the excitement of this match. The strength of Tianshui Academy undoubtedly exceeded their imagination. Ma Hongjun was flying in the air, feeling horrified. Even with the evil fire protecting his body, he still felt the powerful chill, let alone Tang San and the others. The four people were in the center of the whirlpool, desperately blocking the snowflake blades coming from all directions. Tang San was protected by the 8 spider spears as hard as iron, so he could withstand it for the time being. But Dai Mubai, Zhu Zuqing and Xiao Wu soon had scars on their bodies. Despite the critical situation, they did not give up, but were looking for opportunities to fight back. Xiao Wu, come here quickly. Dai Mubai, Zhu Zuqing, and Xiao Wu quickly moved closer to Tang San. Tang San hurriedly unfolded 8 4-meter-long spider legs, wrapping the 3 of them and himself in them. Tang San used the dense barbs on the spider legs to firmly stick to the ground, looking like a black big-bellied spider. He tried to use his iron-hard outer soul bone to resist the Tianshui team's attack and consume their soul power. Seeing this, Ma Hongjun launched his first soul skill towards Shui Binger, who was dominating the drifting ice and snow, and launched a long-range attack. An extremely hot flame roared toward Shui Binger. Upon seeing this, Xiao Han rose into the air and shot an arrow towards the flames. The blue frost arrow passed through the flame and extinguished it directly. The sharp ice arrow flew straight towards Ma Hongjun. When Ma Hongjun saw this, he quickly dodged. His soul power was less than level 40. He had consumed part of his soul power in preparation for the 7-in-1 fusion, and consumed some more in order to break Shui Binger's ice seal. Just now he launched his first soul skill on Shui Binger. The remaining soul power is not enough to sustain him flying in the air for a long time to fight. After Xiao Han launched the frost shot at him, he did not stop, and then launched his second soul skill. Countless ice blue arrows cover the sky. It shot straight at Ma Hongjun, leaving him with nowhere to escape. Ma Hongjun had no choice but to wave his wings to block it. Ah! With a scream, Ma Hongjun was shot into a sieve and landed heavily on the edge of the field. Tang San, who was embedded in the ground, was attacked by Shui Binger and the other girls like a storm. No matter how hard the 8 spider spears were, cracks appeared one after another under the crazy attacks of several people. Looking at this scene, Yu Shaogang, Lu Erlong and Flanders were all worried. But they all knew that Tang San would not give up easily. When the spider spear shattered, it was a great opportunity for Tang San to lead his team in a reversal. After finishing dealing with Ma Hongjun, Xiao Han quickly landed in front of several girls. Binger, get ready. Xiao Han fully drew the bowstring, and with the 4th soul ring shining on his body, he shot another ice blast arrow. Boom! The ice blue arrow hit Tang San, making a deafening sound. The powerful explosive force directly shook Tang San off the ground. Tang San couldn't hold on any longer, and the 4 spider legs exploded. Dai Mubai, Zhu Zuqing and Xiao Wu were all blown away. Zhu Zuqing was even shaken out of the competition venue. Dai Mubai relied on his strong strength to barely stabilize his figure. Xiao Wu relied on her teleportation skills to avoid being kicked out of the field. The moment Tang San's 4 spider legs exploded, 16 spider spear fragments flew towards Xiao Han and Shui Binger and the girls without any warning. This time, Tang San still used the Tang sect's hidden weapon technique, Batwing Reincarnation. However, his treacherous plan did not work out as expected. At the same time that Xiao Han launched the attack, Shui Binger had already activated the Ice Ring Armor skill. This is a group defense skill. Except for Xiao Han, all 6 girls were covered in a layer of crystal clear and hard blue armor. The moment those spider spear fragments hit the Ice Ring Armor, they made a crackling sound, but they did not pierce it. The spider spear fragments also hit Xiao Han, but Xiao Han was not affected in any way. Taking advantage of Tang San and the others' unsteady footing, Xiao Han launched another attack, with countless ice blue arrows flying towards the 3 of them. Dozens of ice arrows suddenly merged into one and pointed directly at the injured Tang San. Brother, be careful. Tang San had already broken 4 spider legs. To resist the invasion of cold air, he spent a lot of soul power. If he launched his defense again, he might break more spider legs. Xiao Wu couldn't bear to watch Tang San suffer more pain and hurriedly teleported in front of him. With the 4th soul ring shining on her body, Xiao Wu activated her 4th soul skill, Invincible Golden Body. The golden light instantly enveloped her. The ice arrow hit the golden light and did not dissipate immediately. The freezing effect was still there, limiting the activation of Xiao Wu's teleportation skills. Xiao Wu's invincible golden body can only last for 3 seconds. But Xiao Han's attack did not stop. A frost arrow came one after another, and the moment Xiao Wu's invincible golden body dissipated, it pierced her chest directly, and blood spattered everywhere. Ah tilde. A scream came from Xiao Wu's mouth. Xiao Wu. Tang San cried out in pain and despair. Black light surged in his left hand, and the clear sky hammer spirit was released. Looking at the scene on the field, the 2 elders Bibi Dong and Zhu Gui, Ning Fengji, Sword Douluo and Douluo I were all shocked. It wasn't because of the clear sky hammer in Tang San's hand, but because of the aura on Xiao Wu's body. A large amount of blood flowed out, and it could no longer cover up the spirit beast aura on Xiao Wu's body. This is a 100,000-year-old soul beast that has transformed into a human. Bibi Dong and the 2 elders looked at each other with surprise on their faces. However, they did not plan to take action immediately and wanted to wait until the game was over. This is the territory of Wuhun Palace. Xiao Wu has been seriously injured and cannot run away. Bibi Dong also thought that it would be the best if Xiao Han could get rid of Tang San for her in this game. Only Tang San and Dai Mubai were left in Shrek Academy. Tang San might still have fragments of the 8-spider spear in his hand, which would be a constant threat to the girls at Tianshui Academy. Xiao Han wants to ensure the safety of the senior sisters. Binger, take the senior sisters out of the competition venue and leave the remaining 2 people to me. Xiao Han, let me stay and deal with them with you. No, that little bastard is too insidious. I'm afraid he will hurt you. Don't worry, dealing with them is a piece of cake. Okay then, be careful. Shui Binger had taken Acacia Broken Heart Red, which might be able to block Tang San's spider venom, but it wasn't certain, and Xiao Han wouldn't let her risk it. Chapter 92 Yu Shaogang, you have fallen into a trap. After several girls withdrew from the venue, Xiao Han faced a 1-on-2 situation. There is no need to worry about the safety of the senior sisters, Xiao Han can perform better. Looking at the situation on the field, the 3 heroes of Wuhun Palace couldn't help but sigh. We made a huge mistake when we fought against Shrek Academy. We should not have used martial soul fusion techniques from the beginning. With the overall strength of our team, we are enough to knock them out of the ring one by one. Yes, a few people from Tianshui Academy are very smart. They did not underestimate the enemy and disrupted Shrek Academy's plan from the beginning. However, Xiao Han is really a weirdo. He was able to resist Tang San's extremely poisonous spider poison with his body. I don't know how he did it. He can resist drugs. It was the right decision to ask his teammates to withdraw from the competition. That little Zha-san is too insidious and difficult to guard against. Now Xiao Zha-san is suffering from even if Xiao Han is seriously injured, he can defeat both of them. Xiao Han is really strong. If we meet Tianshui Academy, it may be difficult to win. While the 3 of them were talking, Xiao Han's figure moved. The moment he flapped his wings and flew away, the 5th soul ring on his body shone brightly. The Junbing arrow shot out quickly, and the ice and snowstorm roared in, quickly covering the entire competition venue, wrapping Tang San and Dai Mubai in it. Tang San waved the clear sky hammer like crazy. But even though the cloak hammering technique was extremely powerful, it could not pose a threat to Xiao Han in the air. Dai Mubai was at his wit's end. The cold air followed Tang San's broken spider legs and continuously invaded his body, as if it wanted to freeze his blood. Tang San felt his body gradually becoming numb, his movements becoming stiffer and stiffer, and the clear sky hammer in his hand seemed to be suppressed. Are we really going to lose? No, I am not willing to do so. Tang San wanted to struggle again, but that familiar voice sounded in his ears again. Xiao San, withdraw your strength and regain your soul. Hearing that sound, Tang San's spinning speed gradually slowed down. Suddenly, a ray of ice blue light came straight towards him and hit his clear sky hammer hard. That was Xiao Han's first soul skill, Frost Shot. The moment the frost arrow collided with the clear sky hammer, the powerful collision force directly pushed the exhausted Tang San out of the competition venue. Xiao Han then shot another arrow, aiming directly at Dai Mubai. Facing the menacing arrow, Dai Mubai used all his remaining soul power to defend himself. In order to resist the invasion of cold air, he had consumed a lot of soul power. Moreover, he was suppressed by the ice and snowstorm and could not stop Xiao Han's attack at all. The arrow hit Dai Mubai directly and knocked him out. The snowstorm suddenly disappeared. In the center of the square, only Xiao Han was left. We won, junior brother defeated them, we won. We are the championship team. The girls of Tianshui College couldn't help but cheer for this victory. On the other side, Tang San and Dai Mubai were lying powerlessly on the edge of the square. Jiangzu is treating Xiao Wu and Ma Hongjun who were seriously injured. Both of them were shot through by Xiao Han's Junbing arrow. If they were not treated in time, their lives would be in danger. They have already eaten Oscar's recovery mushroom sausage. Ning Rongrong is also providing them with soul power increases. You guys, go see the 3rd brother quickly and treat him. Xiao Wu endured the pain in her body, she was even more worried about Tang San. Xiao Wu, don't worry. As long as my father is here, 3rd brother will be fine. After Ning Rongrong finished speaking, she looked at Ning Fengji behind Bibi Dong, as if asking him for help. She didn't know why Ning Fengji didn't take action in time this time. Ning Fengji glanced at Sword Douluo beside him, exchanged a look with him, and then released the 7 treasure glazed tile pagoda martial spirit. 3 colorful rays of light flowed out from the 7 treasures glazed tower at the same time, landing on Tang San, Ma Hongjun, and Dai Mubai. But it was the only one that didn't land on Xiao Wu. Yu Xiaogang, Flender and the Shrek team members were all confused as to why Ning Fengji didn't help Xiao Wu. Not only that, Ning Fengji quickly put away the 7 treasures glazed pagoda and had no intention of fully rescuing Tang San and the others. When Ning Rongrong looked at Ning Fengji again, she found that her father seemed a little helpless. She didn't know what happened and why it happened. Bibi Dong looked back at Ning Fengji and smiled. Sect Master Ning, you have done a good job. Pope, my daughter is in the same academy as them. Her strength is still low, so she probably doesn't know about it. Well, I think so too. Ning Fengji didn't say much, just nodded slightly. He knew that a storm was coming. On the territory of Wuhun Palace, ensuring the safety of his daughter Ning Rongrong is the most important thing. After Ning Fengji's simple treatment, Tang San, Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun were all better. Although they were still seriously injured, their lives were no longer in danger. Xiao Wu was temporarily out of danger after Zhang Ju's treatment and the assistance of Oscar and Ning Rongrong. A group of them looked in the direction of the Tianshui Academy team with unwilling eyes. At this time, Xiao Han has returned to the team and is sharing the joy with the girls. Yu Xiaogang suddenly said, "The competition is over. If you lose, you lose. You are all still young. You are the youngest team on average among the students participating in this Soul Master competition. You can still participate in the next Soul Master competition. I believe that the next Soul Master competition, the championship of the competition, must be yours." Flender quickly catered and said, "Xiao Gang is right. The little monsters are so good. No one will be your opponent in the Soul Master competition 5 years from now." The Shrek 7 monsters looked at each other. Yu Xiaogang and Flanders were right, they would definitely shine in the Soul Master competition 5 years later. However, 5 years is such a long time, who knows what will happen during this period. Lu Erlong supported Xiao Wu, his heart full of anger. "Xiao Wu, let's go, get out of this disgusting place." "Good." Yu Xiaogang and others were about to leave when they were suddenly stopped by Bibi Dong. "Elder Yu, the Soul Master competition is not over yet. Are you in such a hurry to leave?" Yu Xiaogang looked back at Bibi Dong and said solemnly. "His Majesty the Pope, you are referring to the closing ceremony. What? The remaining championship rewards have nothing to do with us. Several of our team members are injured and need treatment and rest. It is not appropriate to stay for a long time." Bibi Dong smiled slightly. The rewards for this Soul Master competition are different from the past. In addition to the champion, the second and third place in the final 3 will have corresponding rewards. Shrek Academy is the second place and can get 20,000 gold soul coins. Don't you want a reward? After hearing this, Shrek and others looked at Flanders. Flanders loves money as much as his life. The construction and development of the college requires money, and 20,000 gold soul coins are not a small amount. But now, he can't make up his mind. "Xiao Gang, what do you think?" Yu Xiaogang sighed. 20,000 gold soul coins is really a lot of money. You have earned it with your hard work, blood and sweat. You can't give it up. Otherwise, please be patient for a while longer. The awards ceremony should be over soon. Chapter 93 Kill the bastard Tang San together. Xiao Wu was hit by Xiao Han's arrow and bled a lot. Tang San knew that the spirit beast aura on her body had been exposed. He also knew very well that Bibi Dong said that he wanted to award awards to Shrek Academy, but in fact he had no good intentions. Bibi Dong, Zhu and Gui, the 2 elders, must have also felt the soul beast aura on Xiao Wu. But, for some reason, they were not in a hurry to take action. Perhaps because this is the territory of Wuhun Palace, Bibi Dong didn't take them seriously at all. The situation is very dangerous, and now we can only take one step at a time. Tang San also knew that his father Tang Hao was watching him not far away. If he really wants to take action, Tang Hao will definitely take action. Under the leadership of Yu Shaogang, the Shrek 7 devils supported each other and returned to the square. Standing next to them were 7 people from Wuhundian Academy. Seeing the tragic situation of Tang San, Ma Hongjun and Xiao Wu, the faces of the members of the Wuhundian Academy showed expressions of gloating. Although Shrek and others were full of anger, they could not do anything. Bibi Dong waved the scepter in her hand lightly, 3 points of light bloomed instantly, and 3 soul bones appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The original red flame right arm bone was replaced by a white one. Judging from the shape, it was also a right arm bone. Looking at the 3 soul bones that shone with different lights, the students at Wuhundian Academy and Shrek Academy all looked envious. They were all just 1 step away from the championship. Unfortunately, there is only one championship team, and the most generous rewards only belong to the winner. Congratulations to Tianshui Academy for winning the overall championship of this year's Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition. These 3 soul bones are your rewards. After Bibi Dong finished speaking, she waved her hand gently, and the 3 soul bones floated to the captain Shui Binger. Thank you, His Majesty the Pope. Shui Binger carefully took the 3 soul bones and handed them to Lin Zhuro on the side. Dean Lin, please keep these 3 soul bones for now. Okay. After the closing ceremony, we will allocate them to you. Lin Zhuro took the 3 soul bones and put them into the soul guide. Bibi Dong's eyes swept across the 21 students on the field, and then said, "You who can make it to the top 3 of this Soul Master competition are all the best among the younger generation. Wuhun Palace has prepared another reward for you. As the champion team, Tianshui Academy received 30,000 gold soul coins, and the first place Shrek Academy received 20,000 gold soul coins, and the third place Wuhundian Academy received 10,000 gold soul coins." As soon as Bibi Dong finished speaking, 3 Wuhun Palace guards came over with brocade plates filled with large golden soul coins. The deans of the 3 colleges, as representatives, received the gold soul coins of their respective colleges. Bibi Dong smiled and said, "This Soul Master competition is over now. You can go back." After hearing this, Tang San was shocked. He didn't think Bibi Dong would let Xiao Wu go, and he didn't know what Bibi Dong would do next. "Don't you want to do it in front of so many people?" Without any time to think about it, Tang San pulled Xiao Wu aside. "Xiao Wu, let's go." During the award presentation process, Xiao Wu was always very nervous and did not even dare to look up at Bibi Dong. She knew that the aura of the soul beast on her body had been exposed, and she was afraid that she would be unable to leave this square. Etc. Tang San and Xiao Wu had just turned around and were about to leave when they heard Bibi Dong's voice. "Everyone here can leave, but not the spirit beasts." Hearing this, everyone was surprised. They all turned around to look at Bibi Dong, and found that Bibi Dong was staring at Tang San and Xiao Dance. Yu Shaogang became a little angry, looked directly at Bibi Dong, and asked, "Bibi Dong, what do you mean? How dare you be rude to His Majesty the Pope?" A cardinal stood up and wanted to accuse Yu Shaogang. Bibi Dong quickly raised her hand to signal the cardinal to shut up. There was a smile on her face, and her good mood was not affected by Yu Shaogang. "Elder Yu, do you really not know, or are you just pretending to be confused? Even if Tang San has half the blood of a spirit beast, there is actually 100,000-year-old spirit beast that has transformed into a human hidden in your team." Yu Shaogang looked confused. Several other people in Shrek were also shocked. Although they didn't know who Bibi Dong was referring to, they immediately thought of Xiao Wu. Several people's eyes fell on Tang San and Xiao Wu in unison. Yu Shaogang asked again, "Bibi Dong, we can resolve the personal grudges between you and me privately, there is no need to impose it on these children, right?" Bibi Dong snorted coldly. "I almost forgot that your soul power is less than level 30, which is not enough to recognize a 100,000-year-old humanoid soul beast. I don't know what method she used to cover up the soul beast aura on her body, but still accidentally exposed." After Bibi Dong finished speaking, she stared straight at Xiao Wu. "If I guess correctly, you're the fish that slipped through the net back then, right? Little rabbit." Just as Xiao Wu was about to say something, a strong wave of soul power suddenly came. Luo Long couldn't bear it anymore and came to the field with Flender at the same time. Bibi Dong, so what if she is a spirit beast? You killed her mother, do you still want to kill her? She is my daughter now. Even if she dies here today, I will protect her. Yu Xiaoging's pupils suddenly contracted. Only then did he realize that he had fallen into Bibi Dong's trick and had left them behind just to deal with Xiao Wu. Moreover, Luo Long already knew Xiao Wu's identity as a soul beast. Tang San also quickly stood up. So what if it's a soul beast? I said I would protect her, and I will protect her forever. If you want to kill her, kill me first. No, brother, Rolong's mother, I don't want you to die for me, I can't hurt you. Several other members of Shrek also stood up and stood in front of Xiao Wu. We, the Shrek Seven Devils, are one body and we will live and die together. Yu Xiaoging nodded towards the Shrek Seven Devils, his eyes filled with relief. Bibi Dong, even though Xiao Wu is a soul beast that has transformed into a human, she has not done anything harmful to nature. As long as she is still a member of our Shrek Academy, I will not allow you to hurt her. After Yu Xiaoging finished speaking, he, Flender and Luo Long released their respective martial spirits at the same time. The three of them formed a triangle formation and were ready for battle. When Bibi Dong saw this, she sneered. What a golden iron triangle, you really overestimate your capabilities. You actually went against the Wuhun Palace for a soul beast. Okay, great. This 100,000-year-old soft-bone charm rabbit is really extraordinary, making each of you willing to die for her. I have captured this rabbit, and anyone who stands in the way will be killed without mercy. Two elders, take action. Kill the evil Tang San together. When the two elders Zhu and Gui were preparing to leave, a loud rumbling sound suddenly came from the sky. Immediately afterwards, an extremely powerful wave of soul power pressed down from the sky toward the square. Who dares to touch my son, Tang Hao? Chapter 94 Douluo I Sneak Attack. Following the deafening roar, the sky seemed to be torn apart, and a burly figure descended from the clouds. The extremely violent fluctuations in soul power enveloped the entire square in a chilling atmosphere. That figure was none other than Tang San's father, Haoshan Douluo, Tang Hao. Tang Hao's eyes were as deep as the abyss, shining with angry light. His hair was unkempt, and his whole body exuded a heart-stopping pressure. Behind him, a huge black hammer floated out of thin air. He walked slowly in the air, and every step he took seemed to be as heavy as 1,000 stones, and even the dust in the air trembled. Dad! Tang San shouted loudly. After 8 years, Tang San was extremely excited to see Tang Hao again, and hope suddenly ignited in his heart. Tang Hao ignored Tang San, but looked at Bibi Dong coldly. Bibi Dong, you are so brave, how dare you touch my son, Tang Hao? Tang Hao's voice was low and hoarse, but it contained enough power to shock people's hearts. Every word was like a heavy hammer, hitting Bibi Dong's heart. Bibi Dong's face instantly became solemn. She didn't expect that Tang Hao would suddenly appear, let alone that the aura he exuded would be so amazing. Tang Hao, how dare you break into Wuhun City alone? You came just in time, I will make sure you never come back. Over the years, Bibi Dong has been practicing hard, and her strength has improved by leaps and bounds, reaching the peerless Douluo level. She had long wanted to have a chance with a strong man like Tang Hao to prove her strength. This is a good opportunity. Is there any return? Humph, I want to see if you have the ability to keep me, Tang Hao. As he spoke, Tang Hao's whole body soul power boiled, and waves of soul power surged out like angry waves, tearing the surrounding air into pieces. 9 soul rings of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 and red unfolded around Tang Hao in sequence. The huge clear sky hammer exuded dazzling light in his hand. Seeing the 100,000-year soul ring blooming with red light, everyone present was shocked. Yu Xiaoging sighed secretly in his heart. He is indeed my idol, this momentum is too strong. On Douluo continent, there are only a handful of people with 100,000-year soul rings. The Haoshan hammer already has extremely powerful attack power, and with a 100,000-year soul ring, its power is even more immeasurable. Whoever dares to touch a hair of my son today, I, Tang Hao, will make his blood splatter on the spot." Tang Hao's voice was like thunder, echoing over the square, and every word was full of unquestionable determination. When the two elders Zhu and Gui saw this, they couldn't help but pause. They once followed the former Pope Qian Zunji to capture Tang San's mother, Lan Yinhuang, but they were all defeated by Tang Hao. The other soul masters in Wuhun Palace were even more frightened by Tang Hao's momentum, and no one dared to act rashly. Xiao Han suddenly said, "Mom, senior sisters, let's leave here quickly and go to His Highness the Crown Prince. Xiao Han, you know, the war is about to break out." Tang Hao was injured, and if a fight really broke out, he would not be able to escape unscathed. His target was the Pope's palace. He wanted to take Tang San and Xiao Wu away from here by making a feint to the east and attacking in the west. Xiao Han beat Tang San repeatedly, and he was worried that he would be retaliated by Tang Hao. Even with Bibi Dong and the powerful men from the Spirit Hall present, the residual power of the war would affect him and his senior sisters whose strength was not that high. Qian Runshui, who was disguised as Prince Shui Qinghe, was standing at the edge of the square not far away. She was secretly protected by many masters, and it would be safer to be with her. Xiao Han and his companions quickly came to Shui Qinghe. At the same time on the other side, Bibi Dong also released her martial soul and soul ring. With the release of the Death Spider Emperor's martial spirit, an eerie and terrifying aura instantly filled the entire venue. Surrounding Bibi Dong's body are 9 soul rings in colors of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 black and red. But Bibi Dong's momentum is not as strong as Tang Hao's. The simultaneous appearance of 200,000-year soul rings shocked everyone. Tang Hao's deep and powerful voice sounded again, "I will make you pay double for what Spirit Hall owes me. Let's destroy the Pope's palace today." "Tang Hao, you dare?" "Humph, do you think I would dare to do that?" As the 7th soul ring on his body glowed, Tang Hao revealed his true form, Haoshan. The clear sky hammer in his hand swelled in the wind. The handle was 100 meters long, and the huge hammer head was like a small mountain. Immediately afterwards, the 100,000-year red soul ring on his body suddenly lit up, and the black giant hammer in his hand instantly turned red. Red lines rhythmically moved on the huge clear sky hammer, carrying with it the power to destroy the heavens and the earth. With a roar, it smashed fiercely into the Pope's palace behind Bibi Dong and the others. In an instant, the air in the entire square became distorted. Bibi Dong was shocked when she saw this. "Tang Hao, you can't succeed." Bibi Dong roared angrily, and her figure flashed, turning into a black stream of light, heading directly towards the falling hammer. The two elders Zhu and Gui and several cardinals of the Spirit Hall followed closely behind and flew up together to meet the clear sky hammer. They would never allow Tang Hao to destroy the Pope's palace. Boom! Along with the violent roar, the entire Wuhun city seemed to be shaking. The soul masters below level 70 in the square went blank in their minds and fainted on the ground. Several figures in the air were knocked down at the same time. For this attack, Tang Hao almost used all his strength. Under the powerful shock wave, the blood in his body surged and he spit out a mouthful of evil blood. The huge clear sky hammer also disappeared. Disappearing along with the clear sky hammer were Tang Hao, as well as Tang San and Xiao Wu who had fainted. Bibi Dong realized after she landed that she had fallen into Tang Hao's plan of making a feint to the east and attacking in the west. But, in that case, she would definitely protect the papal palace. If the Pope's palace was really destroyed by Tang Hao, she would not have the face to sit on the Pope's seat again. It's a pity that the 100,000-year soul beast that was almost in our grasp was lost just like that. Xiao Han. Lin Zhuro suddenly shouted loudly. Not seeing Xiao Han, she became extremely anxious. When Tang Hao smashed down the clear sky hammer just now, it was extremely powerful. Several people from Tianshui College stood together with Qian Runshui. They were secretly protected by the two deans and the two titled Douluo, Thorny Porpoise and Snake Spear. They were not affected by the powerful shock wave. But just as the two deans launched their defense, Xiao Han disappeared. Only a titled Douluo level warrior could take Xiao Han away from everyone in such a short time. Lin Zhiro, Dean Zhao and the girls were all very nervous. Yu Guan was suddenly startled. Oh no, could it be that the boy was taken away by Tang Hao? Your Holiness, that bastard Tang Hao is too arrogant. This concerns the dignity of Spirit Hall. We cannot let him get away like this. The ghost couldn't help but remind. Shut up. Don't I know what's going on? Don't chase me, it's useless. Lin Zhiro looked around, but still couldn't see Xiao Han. Suddenly she realized something. Not good. Douluo I is missing too. Maybe he took Xiao Han away. President Zhao, I'll go after him. I'll leave the children to you. After Lin Zhiro finished speaking, she turned into a blue stream of light and disappeared over the square. Even if he could catch up with Douluo I, it would probably be of no use. But she couldn't ignore Xiao Han and was ready to fight to the death. Chapter 95, The Willful Light Feather Douluo. Just when Tang Hao smashed down the hammer, Douluo took advantage of the two deans of Tianshui College who were distracted while launching defense and took Xiao Han away from them in the blink of an eye. He could have killed Xiao Han immediately. But he thought that Xiao Han had picked a lot of immortal herbs from the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, and it was impossible to use them all up in such a short time. So, Xiao Han was spared from death temporarily. He wanted to take Xiao Han away from Wuhun City and force Xiao Han to hand over the remaining immortal herbs. If Xiao Han cannot hand them over, then we will threaten Tianshui College with his life and force them to hand over the 3 soul bones in exchange. In short, he will make Xiao Han pay a heavy price. At this time, Xiao Han was unable to move under Douluo's pressure. The gap in strength between the two was too great, and Xiao Han had no power to resist at all. This is the first time that Xiao Han has faced such a big crisis since he traveled to this world. He was also nervous, but he knew he had to stay rational. At the critical moment, the snow swan kiss that can counteract the toxin the ambrosia might be able to save his life. But, you have to have a chance. Douluo, you are a titled Douluo. Isn't it appropriate to treat me like this? Besides, I have no enmity or grudge against you, so why are you arresting me? HMPH. You little bastard stole my fairy grass, do you think I don't know about it? Tang San told you. He was just jealous that I was better than him and wanted to use your hand to get rid of me. Douluo didn't answer and suddenly became nervous. A powerful pressure suddenly struck from the front, forcing him to stop. Floating in the air in front of him was a young man with silver hair wearing a light gray robe. His left eye was obscured by long hair, but there was a hint of ice blue, and his entire left arm resembled ice, also showing ice blue. 5 offerings, Light Ling Douluo. Douluo was shocked and blurted out. Xiao Han was pleasantly surprised. Seeing the man's appearance, he guessed that it was Guangling Douluo, the 5th enshrinement member of Wuhun Palace. The martial spirit of Guangling Douluo is the Guangling Divine Bow, which has dual attributes of light and ice. He is a peak Douluo at the 96th level. He will not appear here for no reason. Douluo was a little panicked and pretended to be calm. It turns out to be Guangling Douluo. I wonder what you mean by that. Douluo, let go of that child, I will let you pass. Guangling Douluo didn't take Douluo seriously at all, his tone was full of disdain. Not only does he have the appearance of a boy, but his voice is also similar to that of a boy. Douluo knew that the strength of the young man in front of him was unfathomable. However, he will not let Xiao Han go easily. There is some personal grudge between me and this kid. He is not from your Wuhun Palace. There is no need for you to stop me specifically for him, right? As Douluo spoke, the soul power in his body surged even more fiercely, and his body glowed with green light, clearly ready for battle. Guangling Douluo glanced at Douluo coldly, then looked at Xiao Han beside Douluo, and said with a smile. Boy, are you willing to become my teacher? Of course I am willing. Teacher, this disciple is polite. Xiao Han quickly saluted Guangling Douluo. Very good. From now on, you will be my disciple. Guangling Douluo nodded slightly and his eyes fell on Douluo again. Douluo, it is not easy for you to cultivate to the level of a titled Douluo. This child has become my teacher, do you really have to do something to me? Douluo I was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He was about to succeed, but suddenly a more powerful titled Douluo appeared. Guangling Douluo behaves like a child, which makes no sense. Douluo still didn't want to give up. Guangling Douluo, I have no intention of being your enemy, why do you have to save him? Is it because you are all icebow spirits? Why do I need to explain to you what I'm doing? Since you don't know good from evil, don't blame me for being ruthless. Before Guangling Douluo finished speaking, the soul ring on his body lit up. Upon seeing this, Douluo immediately released his martial spirit true form, and the huge snake tail of the jade phosphorus snake emperor tightly entangled Xiaohan. In the blink of an eye, Lightling Douluo's long bow was fully drawn, but strangely, there were no arrows on it. He released his left hand lightly, and 3 invisible arrows shot out at the same time. The invisible arrow was silent and invisible. Soul masters with lower mental power than him could not feel its existence. The huge jade phosphorus snake king suddenly flipped several times in the air. Obviously, he was hit by the invisible arrow. While Douluo was struggling, Xiaohan broke free from the restraints, spread his wings and flew towards Lightling Douluo. Lightling Douluo also spread out his ice wings, and then launched an attack on Douluo. Douluo's character is as vicious as a poisonous snake. If he doesn't move, he will go all out. He was no match for Lightling Douluo. The blood in the area where he was hit quickly froze under the powerful freezing effect and became numb. If it was just one-on-one, he might have escaped. But the existence of Xiaohan will affect the performance of Lightling Douluo. Therefore, he wanted to struggle again and take the opportunity to kill Xiaohan. Douluo's forehead suddenly lit up, and 2 petrified rays of light shot out from his eyes, pointing at Lightling Douluo and Xiaohan respectively. This is one of his best skills, the 10,000 years skull skill, Medusa's gaze. This skill is so powerful that it can even turn energy into stone. That's it. Lightling Douluo snorted coldly, his ultimate feather light was just enough to restrain Douluo's soul skill. Countless golden arrows of light were shot out from the light feather Douluo's long bow, heading towards the 2 petrified rays of light like a meteor shower, overwhelming them and swallowing them up instantly. When Douluo saw this, he was shocked. This was his first time fighting against Guangling Douluo. He didn't expect this old boy to be so powerful. He was already injured, and the freezing effect was restricting him more and more. If he didn't escape, it would be too late. Douluo turned into a green light and fled into the distance. Lightling Douluo shot another arrow without mercy. The ice blue arrow was like a living creature, chasing after Douluo who was running hastily. That is the 5th soul skill of Lightling Douluo, arriving without interruption, with the effect of locking and pursuing. Douluo, I'll spare your life for now. If you dare to take advantage of my disciple again, I will kill you with my own hands. Lightling Douluo's voice disappeared into the sky along with the green shadow. After luckily escaping the disaster, Xiaohan breathed a sigh of relief. Witnessing the fight between 2 titled Douluo at such a close distance, the battle between them was an eye-opener for him. He was shocked by the strength of Lightling Douluo, who was also a bow and arrow martial spirit with ice attributes. Boy, are you okay? I'm fine, thank you teacher for helping me. Guangling Douluo smiled. I heard that you are good at ice arch. I came here specially to take a look. I was not disappointed. You performed very well in the finals. Practice hard and your future achievements will definitely not be inferior to mine. Teacher, I will work hard. Have you been watching me in the dark just now? Well, I found out that Douluo took you away during the chaos, so I chased you. Just now Tang Hao almost smashed the Pope's palace, aren't you just worried? If Bibi Dong can't even save the Pope's palace, then she doesn't deserve to sit on the Pope's chair. Let's go, we should go back. Those people in your college may be anxious to death if they don't see you. Chapter 96 Protected by Light and Feathers. Bibi Dong was also surprised by Xiaohan's mysterious disappearance. She originally thought it was Tang Hao, but she didn't expect that Douluo was also missing. Obviously, Douluo is also highly suspicious. For Bibi Dong, this is not an important matter. Xiaohan is not from Wuhun Hall anyway. If a genius soul master like Xiao Han cannot be used by Wuhun Palace, Bibi Dong would rather he die. Tang Hao has already taken Tang San and Xiao Wu away. The mysterious disappearance of Xiao Han and Douluo I diverted the attention of Bibi Dong and others. The atmosphere in the square is no longer as tense as before. Yu Xiaoging, Lu Erlong and Flender put away their respective martial spirits, and with the help of Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo, they awoke Dai Mubai and others from the coma. Lin Zhuro searched around but still couldn't find Xiao Han. Well, thank you for your concern, Brother Shui, I will pay attention to it. Before Xiao Han could speak, Lin Zhuro took out the 3 soul bones from the storage container. Tell them to get lost and leave Wuhun City immediately. With Guangling Douluo protecting him, things would become different. Immediately afterwards, the 2 figures landed in front of everyone. Great, Xiao Han is back. Xiao Han, are you okay? Excuse me, it's me. Lin Zhuro and Ding Zhao looked at each other and smiled, feeling happy in their hearts. It is indeed Douluo Bo. He was originally worried about Xiao Han's safety. While several people were looking anxious, 2 blue figures suddenly appeared in the sky above the square. Thank you for your life-saving grace. We are deeply honored that you can accept Xiao Han as your disciple. Xiao Han injured Tang San and offended Tang Hao. If she didn't join the spirit hall, Bibi Dong wouldn't let him go easily. Good. Bibi Dong has his own plan, there is no need to fall out with him over 3 soul bones. Bibi Dong glanced at Yu Xiaoging and Lu Erlong angrily. I agree too. Shui Binger asked anxiously. She never expected that Guangling Douluo would support Xiao Han, whom she had never met before. We can win the championship of the Soul Master competition, and Xiao Han has the greatest contribution. Let Xiao Han divide it up. You're welcome. This child is extremely talented and has a certain fate with me. I can't teach him anything. I just don't want him to be harmed by bad people. Douluo Bo has been injured by me, so he should have a better memory. Your Majesty the Pope, what should we do with these people? After Bibi Dong finished speaking, she strode towards the Pope's palace. The worshippers of Wuhun Hall have been practicing in the Hall of Worship and will not leave the mountain unless there is any major incident. Xiao Han smiled and said. Bibi Dong was secretly angry. Brother Xiao Han, you're lucky to have escaped from Douluo Bo's clutches. However, you still have to be more careful about him in the future. She wanted to kill Lu Erlong immediately, but now was not the time. Guangling Douluo's words were not just for them, but also to warn Bibi Dong, Ning Fengji and others not to take Xiao Han's idea. Xiao Han, I leave this token to you. See it as you see me. If you encounter any difficulties in the future, you can come to Wuhun City to find me. I have admired your name for a long time, and it is a great honor to meet you today. Okay, thank you teacher. Shui Qinghe came to Xiao Han and others. It's time for us to return to Tiando City. Let's go together so that we can have someone to look after us on the way. After Lin Zhuro finished speaking, she handed the 3 soul bones to Xiao Han. Several people looked at each other. The 3 soul bones bloomed with blue, white and green light respectively, instantly illuminating the interior of the carriage. From Wuhun City back to Tianshui City, most of the routes are the same as those back to Tiando City. Shui Yuei suggested. I'm leaving first, be careful to protect yourself. Then let's go find it together. Calmness completely returned to the square. No. Isn't this the leader of our ice attribute and the 5th enshrinement of Wuhun Palace, Lightfeather Douluo? Xiao Han, you are responsible for the distribution. Lin Zhuro and the girls were very excited. Xiao Han and his party left Wuhun City together with the royal knights led by Shui Qinghe. It was Xiao Han and Guangling Douluo. I don't know if he is still in Wuhun City. If he really falls into Douluo Bo's hands, I'm afraid. At this time, Guangling Douluo stood up to support Xiao Han, making his personal safety more secure. Although Tianshui Academy won the championship reward, it is not easy to take away the 3 soul bones. Xiao Han gave each of them a fairy grass, which helped them improve their strength and cultivation speed. Each of them was very grateful to Xiao Han. Ding Zhao looked at Guangling Douluo and felt startled. Lin Zhuro bowed to Guangling Douluo again. After Light Ling Douluo finished speaking, he turned into a stream of blue light and disappeared over the square. Xiao Han was also a little embarrassed. Yu Gan can't be Xiao Han's teacher, but he can be his friend. I hope he will live well after taking Qi Rong Tianju. Looking at the direction in which Light Ling Douluo was leaving, Yu Guan was secretly happy in her heart. Xiao Han, it's great that you can come back safely. These 3 soul bones were originally prepared for the 3 wizards of Wuhun Palace. They are all of excellent quality. The head soul bone is 50,000 years old, and the right arm bone and left leg bone are both 30,000 years old. Year. Dean Lin, look. Lin Zhiro, Xiao Han, and Shui Binger were riding in a large carriage. The man in front of him is exactly what the rumored Guang Ling Douluo looks like. I agree. Xiao Han, do you call Senior Guangling your teacher? Dean Lin, how are you? Have you seen Xiao Han? Although soul bones are precious, there are only 3 of them, so how to distribute them is also a big problem. She was not sure if Xiao Han was still in Wuhun City, so she returned to the square in front of the Pope's palace. The 3 soul bones awarded to the champion of the Soul Master competition are still on her body. He knew that the wisdom skull was most suitable for Shui Binger of the control system, the left leg soul bone was most suitable for Shui Yuaa and Jiyu Kingbo of the agility attack system, and the right arm bone that could increase attack power was suitable for everyone. Dean Zhao, Mom, Douluo Bo took me away just now during the chaos. It was the teacher who saved me. Lin Zhiro was filled with anger and suddenly reacted. Well, I have accepted Senior Guang Ling as my teacher. It's a long story. I'll tell you slowly later. The girls all admired Xiao Han. Mom, Dean Zhao, senior sisters, I have made you worry, I am fine. Dean Zhao, Lin Zhiro and the girls from Tianshui Academy all bowed to Light Ling Douluo. Xiao Han shined in the finals, inadvertently offending many people, and his situation became dangerous. Yu Guan looked at Shrek's group and asked. Just as Tang Hao left, another Guang Ling came. Guang Ling Douluo was loyal to the angel lineage, very willful, and had little contact with Bibi Dong. We are safe for the time being. We still have some time to return to Tianshui City. Why don't you absorb the soul bones on the way? Xiao Han took the offering token from Guang Ling Douluo. She has never seen Guang Ling Douluo, but she has heard that Guang Ling Douluo looks like a young man, and his left eye and left arm are ice blue. Chapter 97 Skull, Invisible Arrow. Xiao Han carefully took the 3 soul bones, and then handed the head soul bone glowing with a light blue light to Shui Binger. Binger, from the qualifying rounds to the promotion rounds, and then to the finals, your performance in the competition is obvious to all. This head soul bone is the most suitable for you. Shui Binger shook her head repeatedly. No, it's too valuable. Without you, we wouldn't be able to win the Soul Master competition. This soul bone should be given to you. You are the control type and need it more than me. I am not entirely a control type, and you are not entirely a power attack type. Doesn't your soul skill also have a control effect? So, it is also very suitable for you. Shui Binger was resolute and would not accept this soul bone under any circumstances. Xiao Han, the captain is right, just accept it. Yes, please accept it. The girls all agreed with Shui Binger's idea. Level 60. A 50,000-year-old head soul bone is indeed extraordinary. After Xiao Han finished speaking, he handed the right arm soul bone glowing with a faint white light to Shui Binger. Seeing Xiao Han wake up, Lin Zhiro asked expectantly. Binger, I'll give you this right arm soul bone, don't give in any more. He knew that Tang Hao caused the recurrence of old injuries in order to save him and Xiao Wu. The girls are very modest. The transformed 100,000-year soul beasts will enter the mature stage after their soul power reaches level 60. Even a titled Douluo-level soul master will not be able to discern their identity as soul beasts. But before that, he had to become stronger quickly so that he could avenge himself, Xiao Wu, and Shrek, who were seriously injured by Xiao Han. It's okay, it's just a recurrence of old injuries, cough tilde cough tilde. Xiao Han secretly marveled in his heart. He could clearly feel that his thinking had become more agile, and he could even capture the subtle soul power fluctuations in the air. This ability would undoubtedly play a vital role in battle. Deep in the mountains. Well, I also agree with Sister Haru's idea. Don't worry, she is safe. I let her go. She is still too weak and should not come to the human world. Shui Yuei and Jiyu Qingbo looked at each other and smiled. This skill greatly increases Xiao Han's attack power. This left leg soul bone, which can increase speed, is most suitable for Yuei and Sister Qingbo of the agility attack system. Of course, it is also suitable for other senior sisters. It can increase your speed. It's a pity that there is only one piece, otherwise it will be drawn by lot. Let's decide. Xiaohan, Binger, Yuei, you can absorb the soul bones now, and I will protect you. You guys can practice with peace of mind. After Shui Binger absorbed the right arm soul bone, her soul power increased by more than one level, reaching level 57, and she obtained a soul bone skill that has both explosion and freezing effects. Xiaohan, you have finally absorbed the soul bone. How do you feel? Good. Soul masters whose mental power is lower than his are unable to detect the existence of invisible arrows. Is this the change brought about by 50,000 years of head soul bones? Xiaohan continued. Yu Haro smiled. The next day, Xiaohan and Shui Binger walked separately. Lin Zhuro also nodded towards Xiaohan. Good. Xiaosan, after you recover from your injury, I will give you special training. When the time is right, I will tell you where she is. Cough tilde cough tilde. Shui Yuei's soul power increased by 2 levels, reaching level 47. She obtained a soul bone skill that allows her to move forward at extremely fast speeds, further increasing her speed. Although the invisible arrow is silent, it has extremely strong penetrating power and freezing effect. After experiencing several fierce battles in the Soul Master competition, Xiaohan's soul power improved rapidly, and he was close to level 58 after the competition. Congratulations, Yuei. Now is the break time, and the carriage has stopped moving. Okay, you two don't give in to each other anymore, just toss a coin and decide. If it's heads, it goes to you, and if it lands on tails, it goes to Sister Qingbo. There is still one left leg soul bone left that has not been allocated. Xiaohan, since it is most suitable for Yuei and Qingbo, let them smoke it. Absorbing the energy of the head soul bone, it has been improved by more than 2 levels, directly reaching level 60, and it is time to obtain the next soul ring. Jiyu Qingbo said. I feel very good. My mental power has made a qualitative leap. My soul power has directly exceeded level 60. Afterwards, Xiaohan and the others began to absorb soul bones, and the others also calmed down to practice. Xiaohan, how can soul bones be so easy to obtain? The fairy grass you gave us is enough. It is much more precious than soul bones. Everybody was in a happy mood. Then just listen to Xiaohan. When he opened his eyes again, his eyes shone with a deeper and brighter light, and all his perceptions became clearer. Time passes minute by minute. Have Binger and Yuei absorbed their soul bones? Shui Yuei carefully took the soul bone. The other side. The head soul bone has been perfectly integrated with Xiaohan, giving him a qualitative leap in mental strength. Afterwards, Xiaohan got off the carriage and shared the joy of progress with everyone. As Tang Hao spoke, he coughed up a mouthful of blood. Tang San felt sorry for Tang Hao, and his desire for revenge became even stronger. Xiaohan threw out the golden soul coin. Xiaohan, it looks like we have to part ways with Binger and the others. Well, they are outside, let's go down too, everyone is waiting for you. Shui Binger smiled gently and took the soul bone. It's the front, then I'll give this soul bone to Yuei. Yu Haro joked. Xiaowu was still far from level 60 now, and Tang Hao didn't want Tang San to waste his energy on her. Okay, I'll toss the coin. The girls all looked over expectantly. Revealed. Yuei is younger than me, give it to Yuei. Xiaohan slowly released his right hand, and the front of the gold soul coin came into everyone's eyes. Dad, are you injured? Okay, then I'll accept it. Xiaohan took out a gold soul coin and said with a smile. Along with the absorption of the soul bone in his head, a cold and pure energy slowly poured into Xiaohan's mind, bringing an unprecedented freshness and comfort. He will definitely go to Wuhun Palace to settle this account in the future. Xiao Han, just wait. If I don't avenge this, Tang San, will never be a human being. There were only two people in the car, Xiao Han and Lin Zhuro. Lin Zhuro said to everyone. Xiao Han said. Yes. He and Lin Zhuro went to the frozen forest to hunt soul beasts and obtain their sixth soul ring. The skull skill obtained by Xiao Han is the invisible arrow, which can condense mental power. With the control of his mind, he can turn the ice arrow into an invisible and silent weapon to attack the enemy mentally and physically. Tang San woke up from his coma and saw only Tang Hao but not Xiao Wu. He was very anxious. Ji Yu Qingbo did not feel disappointed because he missed the left leg soul bone, but instead gave Shui Yue his sincere blessings. Combined with single target attack soul skills, it can cause 100% additional damage to the enemy. Yes, this soul bone can exert greater value in both of them. Sisters, there are only 3 soul bones, so let's distribute them like this for now. If there is a chance in the future, I will arrange them for you. No, give it to Sister Qingbo. The golden soul coin rotated in the air for several times, and then fell steadily into the palm of Xiao Han's right hand. Dad, where is the little dancer? Then I'm welcome. Thank you all. Chapter 98 Another Soul Bone, 60,000 Years. Ding Zhao took Shui Binger and his party back to Tianshui College smoothly. At the same time, on the other side, Xiao Han and Lin Zhuro arrived in the frozen forest. This time, their goal is to hunt down a soul beast that has been cultivated for more than 50,000 years to become Xiao Han's sixth soul ring. Most of the outer areas of the forest were low-level soul beasts, and the two of them headed towards the center of the forest. The surrounding scenery became more and more desolate, with sparse trees and thick snow covering the ground. Snowflakes flew everywhere with every step. The cold wind was biting like a knife. Xiao Han and Lin Zhuro marched unswervingly towards the depths of the forest. After several days of searching, they finally found their target in a hidden valley, a huge soul beast. The soul beast was more than 6 meters long, and its whole body was covered with crystal-clear ice armor. It was like a moving iceberg, exuding a heart-stopping cold air. The crystal-clear ice armor shone dazzlingly in the sunlight, as if it were indestructible. Xiao Han and Lin Zhuro looked at each other. Lin Zhuro and Xiao Han looked at each other and smiled. Yes, Xiao Han, your mental perception is stronger than mine now, so you discovered it first. Lin Zhuro took a closer look and was shocked when she discovered the source of the blue light spot. After absorbing the 50,000-year-old spiritual skull, Xiao Han's spiritual perception increased to an unprecedented level. He felt the existence of this soul beast earlier than Lin Zhuro. The ice-armored bear let out a last wailing cry, and its huge body collapsed. Immediately afterwards, it was like a blue lightning, swooping towards Xiao Han. The speed was staggering. Okay. Although it's a bit reluctant, I believe you can withstand its power. When it is weak, it will be easier to take it down. Good. Xiao Han, bear with it a little longer and continue to consume it. Lin Zhuro was still waiting attentively. Xiao Han didn't give it a chance to breathe, and followed with another arrow. She knew that this ice-armored bear with strong defense was difficult to deal with, and attacking easily would only be a waste of soul power. Xiao Han drew the bowstring again, and the skull soul skill was linked with the frost shooting, and an invisible arrow with powerful penetrating power quietly took shape. Its huge bare paws slammed to the ground. As time passed by, Xiao Han's breathing gradually became even. The invisible arrow collided with the ice armor, making a crisp, ding, sound. It only left a mark on the solid ice armor, but did not penetrate it. A trace of black mist slowly rose from the body of the ice-armored bear and began to condense. Upon seeing this, Xiao Han's eyes narrowed, and he quickly adjusted his posture, and the fourth soul skill, Ice Explosion Arrow, was ready to go. Then, Xiao Han began to absorb the soul ring. By the time his condition was adjusted to its optimum, the 60,000-year-old black soul ring had completely condensed into shape. Both of them felt the pressure of this force and had to retreat quickly to avoid being involved. After dodging those snow blade attacks, Xiao Han dived down again. Lin Jiro saw that the time was right, and the seventh soul ring on her body suddenly shone, releasing the true form of the martial soul. This ripple of energy was like a sharp blade, breaking trees wherever it passed. She could feel an increasingly strong wave of soul power from Xiao Han. Continuously provoking it and inducing it to continuously launch powerful attacks can cause a lot of consumption to it. The ice-armored bear is one of the bear spirit beasts. In addition to possessing the characteristics of the bear spirit beast's immense strength, it also possesses extremely powerful ice armor defense. Mom, let's use it as my sixth soul ring. Roar. Feeling the sudden attack, the ice-armored bear roared angrily, its huge body shook violently, and the surrounding snow was scattered and splashed in all directions. In an instant, the surrounding ground seemed to be hit by a giant hammer and trembled. The snow was lifted high and turned into snow blades in the air, flying towards Xiao Han and Lin Jiro. His soul power surged throughout his body, condensing on the arrow, aiming at the only exposed head of the frozen body, and shot out an arrow. Xiao Han and Lin Jiro quickly dispersed, releasing their respective martial souls and soul rings at the same time, and besieged the ice-armored bear from both sides. This made her feel at ease a lot. The ice-armored bear was exhausted and struggled angrily and feebly, but could not break free from the shackles of absolute zero. The arrow drew an icy trajectory in the air and hit the target accurately. Both have the ability to fly. This arrow contains both the power of ice and cold fire. Xiao Han, retreat quickly, don't be greedy for war. Mom, that's an ice-armored bear with a cultivation level of 60,000 years. However, the ice-armored bear did not give up. It roared again, and the ice armor all over its body suddenly emitted an even more dazzling light. It's actually a soul bone. What a powerful defense. Lin Jiro believed that Xiao Han could withstand a 60,000-year soul ring in his current condition. Xiao Han felt a chill in his heart, and while flying high into the sky, he fully drew the bowstring, preparing to launch a counterattack. Xiao Han, you succeeded. Adjust your condition and prepare to absorb the soul ring. He knew that only by facing such a powerful enemy could he test his strength. This arrow pierced directly through its forehead. With a roar, a violent explosion occurred on the ice-armored bear's head, and the thick layer of ice armor on its head was suddenly covered with small cracks. Suddenly, a bit of icy blue light emerged from the body of the ice-armored bear. Almost in the aftermath of the explosion of the previous arrow, this invisible arrow also hit the ice-armored bear's head, completely shattering the cracked ice armor. The tentative blow did not cause substantial damage to the ice-armored bear, but Xiao Han was not discouraged, but instead a trace of excitement flashed in his eyes. The first soul ring on Xiao Han's body and the soul bone on his forehead shone at the same time. Sure enough, after the ice-armored bear launched several fierce attacks in succession, its speed slowed down, and its attacks were not as fierce as the previous two. Xiao Han couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Roar. Moreover, the more powerful the soul beast is, the greater the improvement it will bring after absorbing its soul ring. Starting from the second soul ring, Xiao Han absorbed soul rings that were beyond the limit that ordinary soul masters could bear, and their lifespans were much longer. But Xiao Han's expression was very relaxed, and except for the beads of sweat on his forehead, he showed no pain or struggle. Xiao Han sat cross-legged and began to adjust his condition. In this battle, Xiao Han launched more attacks and got good training. The first soul skill, Frost Shot and Skull skill, are combined into one, an invisible arrow with powerful penetrating power. It shot towards the ice-armored bear with omen. The ice-armored bear's counterattack is quite powerful. If you are not careful, you may be hit hard. Lin Jiro has not yet released her true martial soul. Lin Jiro was guarding him nervously and expectantly. Xiao Han absorbed the fairy grass and the high-quality spiritual skull, and his physical strength and mental power were unparalleled. A more powerful energy wave erupted from the body of the ice-armored bear, accompanied by a deafening roar, and circles of ice-blue energy ripples spread out around it with it as the center. The ice-armored bear launched a counterattack amidst the roar. Xiao Han, it's time. A powerful force of ice surged out of her body, instantly freezing the exhausted ice-armored bear in crystal-clear ice except for its head. Although the ice-armored bear has extremely powerful strength and defense, it is simple-minded and has a bad temper. Chapter 99 High Explosive Penetration. 3 hours later, Xiaohan woke up from absorbing the soul ring. He opened his eyes and felt the changes in himself. The increase in soul power brought about by a 60,000-year soul ring is astonishing. He could clearly feel the surge of soul power in his body, as if a river was flowing into the sea, flowing endlessly. The improvement of overall strength is not just as simple as adding one more soul ring. As a powerful ice-attributed soul beast, the ice-armored bear's soul ring gave Xiaohan an obvious increase in power. The indestructible ice armor also brought him a certain defense bonus. In addition to these, Xiaohan also found that his mental power had been further enhanced. Lin Zhiro looked at Xiaohan and felt that the aura exuding from his body had changed a lot after he absorbed the soul ring. The improvement in strength makes him look more calm and confident. What unexpected gain! Blue ice crystal lines flowed on the cold arrows, exuding a heart-stopping light. That's right. I originally planned to discuss this matter with you after I obtained the 6th soul ring. Douluo has already developed murderous intentions towards me. If he doesn't get rid of him for a day, he will treat me, you, Binger and the others, and even it is a huge threat to the entire Tianshui Academy. It will be too late by the time he comes, so we have to take the initiative. Very good, my soul power has been increased by 2 levels, breaking through the 64th level. This right arm soul bone not only increases my ice power again, but also gives me powerful defensive skills. Lin Zhiro took out the soul bone while speaking. Xiaohan's eyes suddenly lit up the moment he touched the soul bone, and a look of incredible surprise appeared on his face. Xiaohan, how do you feel after absorbing the soul bone so quickly? After hearing this, Lin Zhiro couldn't help but tremble in her heart. Xiaohan believed that he and his mother alone could have a chance to kill Douluo by surprise. Well, if we, mother and son, are of one mind, we will definitely kill him. Mom, I feel like I have been completely transformed. What, do you want to deal with Douluo? Mom, just the 2 of us will go. I asked the teacher that Douluo was seriously injured, his combat strength was reduced by half, and his injury will not heal within half a year. He will definitely come to me when he recovers. It will be more difficult to deal with. It is better to be proactive than to be passive, so the sooner we go to him, the better. When Lin Zhiro saw this, a hint of surprise flashed in her eyes, and she praised. Judging from the shape, it is a right arm soul bone. Mom, I want you to absorb this soul bone, but it actually has another purpose. It can help you improve your strength, so that we will have more confidence to deal with Douluo. This is a 60,000-year-old ice attribute soul bone, no worse than the 50,000-year-old head soul bone he absorbed before. Speaking of Douluo, Lin Zhiro also felt a ball of anger ignited in her heart. All right. You're lucky, a soul bone fell out of that ice-armored bear. Mom, is this the right arm soul bone? Watch it, Mom. Lin Zhiro was resolute, and Xiaohan no longer refused. After taking the soul bone, he sat down to absorb it. More importantly, Douluo has always been arrogant, and underestimating the enemy is a taboo. It only took half an hour for Xiaohan to completely fuse with the right arm soul bone. He looked at Lin Zhiro, his eyes full of gratitude. The process of absorbing soul bones went smoothly. Lin Zhiro shook her head. Well, let's feel it. Then, the 2 of them walked towards the outskirts of the forest, chatting about their plan to outwit Douluo. After a while, Xiaohan calmed down his excitement. It penetrated 2 hard ice crystal rocks at the same time, but the arrow was not damaged at all. Lin Zhiro nodded happily. After Xiaohan finished speaking, he released the soul bone of his right arm. The entire right arm instantly turned into ice blue. A layer of seemingly indestructible ice crystals spread rapidly from the right arm, immediately covering his entire body like armor. Lin Zhiro handed the soul bone to Xiaohan's hand. She understood what Xiaohan meant. Douluo was injured by Guangling Douluo and his combat effectiveness was greatly weakened. Going to seek revenge from him now might still have some chance of winning. With that said, Xiaohan released his martial soul and 6th soul ring. The soul power has been increased by 2 levels, and the new soul skill acquired has extremely strong explosive power and penetrating power. I call it, high explosive penetration. You are right to worry. Douluo I is ruthless. Even if you have the light feather Douluo to protect you, he will not give up. However, it will not be easy to kill him with just the 2 of us, unless Dean Zhao goes with us. But if Dean Zhao also goes, the nature will change. Well, if we fail to kill him, then our entire Tianshui College will suffer. What a high explosive penetration. It has strong penetrating power and a freezing effect. By absorbing the soul ring this time, your attack power has been greatly improved. Xiaohan, you have finally absorbed the soul ring. How do you feel? Xiaohan chuckled and then said. Using this soul skill in conjunction with my skull skill can not only achieve invisible effects, but also double its power. When the soul bone of the right arm is released, the power of the perfect ice arrow shot can be increased by 100%. This soul skill combines the power of the ice armored bear with the powerful attack of the ice attribute. It has extremely strong penetrating power and also has a freezing effect. It is my strongest single target attack skill so far. Xiaohan stood up and stretched his limbs, with a smile of satisfaction and joy on his face. The arrow from the string shot towards 2 ice crystal rocks not far away with a harsh sound of breaking through the air. Xiaohan explained. It is crystal clear, exudes a touch of cold air, shines with a dreamy blue luster, and seems to contain extremely powerful coldness and power. That fragrant Douluo immortal can neutralize all toxins and restrain Douluo's snake venom. Mom, you don't have a soul bone yet. You can absorb this soul bone. Xiaohan took it carefully, stretched out his hand and touched it gently, feeling the majestic power contained in it. The moment the ice crystal arrow came into contact with the rock in front, it directly penetrated it, and then penetrated another rock. Very good. Xiaohan, we have an unexpected harvest this time. Xiaohan is not worried about Douluo's jade phosphorus snake king venom. He already has a body that is invulnerable to all poisons. Lin Zhuro knew that Xiaohan would not do anything that was uncertain. She still remembered that Xiaohan had mentioned to her before the method of using fairy grass to deal with Douluo. Xiaohan, I understand what you mean. However, the person who needs to improve your strength more is you, so quickly absorb this soul bone. Moreover, there is a snow-colored swan kiss that can enhance the poison 1,000 times. Once it touches Douluo's wound, he will be backlashed by the snake venom, and the poison will attack his heart and kill him. Lin Zhuro was very happy to see Xiaohan's strength getting stronger. After hearing this, Lin Zhuro couldn't help showing a look of curiosity and expectation. Xiaohan, although Douluo is injured, we still have to be careful in our layout. Please tell us your specific thoughts. Silly boy, this is your opportunity. You have just absorbed the soul ring of that ice-armored bear, and its soul bone is undoubtedly the best supplement for you. Once the fusion is successful, your strength will be gained again. A qualitative leap. After Douluo died, he could safely take the dragon bones from the bottom of the ice and fire eye fountain. Xiaohan, how much has your soul power increased? What soul skills have you acquired? With the continuous improvement of his strength, Xiaohan's future will undoubtedly be brighter. Chapter 100 Douluo, come and end it. Xiaohan and Lin Zhuro arrived at the Sunset Forest, 200 miles east of Tiando City. Along the way, the two discussed detailed plans to deal with Douluo. Before entering the forest, Xiaohan handed over the fragrant Douluo immortal to Lin Zhuro. Yushang Douluo immortal is the nemesis of hundreds of poisons. It has the effect of neutralizing all toxins. It cannot detoxify itself, but it can overcome poisons. Xiaohan had always carried it with him before, and had used it when searching for soul beasts and protecting teammates. When you go to find Douluo, you have to pass through the jade phosphorus snake venom array he carefully arranged, and you will also be attacked by his poison. With the Yushang Douluo immortal, Douluo's snake venom is no longer a threat to Lin Zhuro. The two of them entered the Sunset Forest together. The surrounding light gradually dimmed, and the dense trees were like huge guardians, silently watching the two uninvited guests, making people's nerves tighten unconsciously. At this time, only 1 month had passed since Douluo was injured by lightning Douluo. Xiao Han grinned. Xiao Han knew that the environment of the Ice and Fire Eye was helpful for healing, but with Douluo's physical condition, he could not stay there for a long time. That's right, don't you want to kill me? It's just right, let's put an end to it. You were injured by my teacher and are already half disabled. Do we need so many people to deal with you? My mother and I are enough. A gloomy wind suddenly rose, instantly blowing away the surrounding fog, filling the entire space with an indescribable eerie atmosphere. After saying that, both of them spread their wings and flew straight into the jade phosphorus snake venom formation. Now, both of them have made great progress in strength, and they dare to challenge Douluo. Your fairy grass. Does such a big sunset forest belong to you? Why do you take those fairy grass as your own? I just picked the fairy grass that originally belonged to this forest. Those herbs that you transplanted yourself, I didn't move. It's you. He didn't believe that these two people alone dared to trespass on his territory. Maybe they had companions. Douluo could feel the changes in Xiao Han, and his aura was stronger than before. You two dare to break up with me. Okay, great. But before I kill you, I want to ask you a question. How did you learn about the Ice and Fire Eyes and those immortal grasses? Exists and is found there. A trace of cold murderous intent flashed through his eyes. Mom, are you afraid? At that time, he was still young, and Lin Jiro was still only at the Soul Saint level. What are you afraid of? This day will come sooner or later. As you said, if Douluo is not eliminated, there will be endless troubles. But, to be honest, just the two of us will choose fighting a titled Douluo as the craziest thing I have ever done in my life. Douluo was furious, but he was not in a hurry to attack Xiao Han and Lin Jiro. Douluo was healing his wounds near the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, using the unique environment to speed up his recovery, but he didn't expect that someone would dare to break into his territory at this time. A dark green mist blocked the sight of the two people in front. This was Douluo's green phosphorus snake venom formation. Xiao Han quickly found the inverted cone-shaped call, and under the cliff on the side of the mountain was the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Suddenly, Xiao Han felt a strong energy fluctuation coming rapidly. Damn it! It was me who discovered the treasure land and carefully took care of those immortal herbs for many years. It is my territory. Xiao Han asked. A Soul Douluo of level 84 and a Soul Emperor of level 64, challenging a title Douluo of level 92 is tantamount to seeking death. It has only been a short month, and his strength has greatly improved. No wonder he is so confident. What he did not expect was that the visitors were Xiao Han and Lin Jiro. So, he would not recover from his injuries in such a short time. Douluo smiled disdainfully and said coldly. Douluo's figure rushed out from the bottom of the mountain like a ghost. Well, Mom, Douluo is here. Old poison, don't wrongly accuse a good person. My mother knows nothing about fairy grass. I was the one who picked those fairy grasses, and it has nothing to do with my mother. When Xiao Han said this, he looked directly at Douluo, appearing very confident, without any fear. Xiao Han also snorted disdainfully. The sudden appearance of Xiao Han and Lin Jiro made him feel unbelievable. Fortunately, Douluo was half disabled. Mom, this is really crazy. But, the arrow is on the bowstring and has to be shot. I believe we can defeat him. Out of caution, he asked tentatively. Douluo suddenly felt a faint fragrance, and that special fragrance had a familiar feeling. Both of them made up their minds. Xiao Han remembered the first time he came here and was suppressed by Douluo. Looking around, Xiao Han only felt the breath of soul beasts, and did not feel the presence of Douluo. Boy, you have the guts to talk to me in this tone. It seems that you came to me on purpose. Lin Jiro nodded slightly. In addition, he also wanted to know how Xiao Han knew about the existence of yin-yang eyes of ice and fire and took away those immortal herbs. As Xiao Han and Lin Jiro got closer and closer to the center of the forest, the atmosphere around them became more and more oppressive. Xiao Han, you are so bold that you dare to come to my door. You have studied herbs for so many years, and those immortal herbs are right next to you, but you don't know it at all. Even Tang San knows them, but you don't. You are a dying man, and I don't need to discuss this issue with you anymore. You broke into my medicine garden and stole my immortal herbs. He knew that Douluo I was suspicious, and even if he told the truth, Douluo I might not believe it. Where are your accomplices? Stop being sneaky, call them out. So, when you first came here, you were already thinking about my immortal herbs. The gloomy eyes fell on Lin Jiro, and found that the fragrance was emanating from her. He was worried that they had other companions hiding in the dark. Douluo was murderous, his voice was low and full of majesty, his eyes flashed with fierceness, and he looked around vigilantly. Through careful feeling, Douluo did not find any other breath except the two people in front of him. It is also possible that he is not in this forest, but recuperating somewhere else. In short, we'd better be careful. Mom, Douluo may be recuperating in his nest, and he has no energy to patrol around, so he hasn't noticed our arrival. Douluo was even more surprised. Douluo was injured and could not use his full strength. This battle was a matter of life and death, but they were fearless. Douluo was completely enraged. Moreover, once the poison attack that he was proud of lost its effect, his combat effectiveness would be greatly reduced. After Xiao Han finished speaking, he and Lin Jiro released their martial spirits at the same time, ready to deal with this sudden crisis. Well, since we are here, there is nothing to worry about. You little thief, I will cut you into pieces.